Woo! Good evening, people. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's so good to see you guys. Um, yeah, it's been a minute. I'm sorry about that. Um, and I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting too long. Because I've had this person waiting backstage forever. It feels like because I forgot to hit go live and I was straight up like, you know, right now. Oh, right now. I was all into it. I was just like, I was getting all pumped. And then I realized, like, wait a minute. Why isn't the chat filling up? But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring on our guest, the one and only attorney Melanie Little, folks.
That's quite a bit of applause. Thank you so much. I don't just really.
What a great start, right?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I was doing the same thing. I was like, all right, waiting. And then I look up and it's like, wait, he didn't hit live. Go live.
Yeah, I figured if you were jamming out, then we were live, and I was just like, be it on me, baby. I don't even know what he's saying there.
It happens. What are you gonna do?
Pearl is a member for 4 months. We love Pearl Dever here for the Stabler and Benson of Justice for OJO. Oh wow, that's
I love that.
That's high praise. It is amazing. And real quick, Joyce became a new member. Thank you. And great opening. I'm just a girl in the world. Thank you so much. And Yuri's math teacher, always so generous with the gifting of the membership. And Ren, member for 11 months. Amazing. Wow, this is, I mean, dude, are these Pro Care and Read folks not the best audience like ever?
The greatest, most generous, kindest people ever. Really?
Amazing. Yeah.
Truly, I mean that.
Yeah, me too. I missed all of you guys very, very much. You guys get me all choked up and stuff. I'll try not to. Now, this is going to be a really, really fun show for you guys because you guys have been waiting for me to go live. And I'm really excited to tell you guys that Melanie and I have come up with absolutely no plan whatsoever. Really excited about this live stream because we don't know what the fuck we're going to do at all.
It's like true improv. It's true improv, but
totally. Wait a second. Hold on. Give me 1 second here because I'm catching a mistake, I think. And I have to check it real quick to verify. Yes. Okay. Now I have to find that again.
Yeah, we're just grifting. We could just grift tonight.
We're just living the grift. Hold on. And where is that? There we go. Okay. There we go.
What happened?
I needed to give Resistant to Silence a wrench. I realized that I don't have. Yeah, I like to give creators that I like and respect wrenches.
I didn't get one.
You are never in my chat, Melanie.
I'm always in your chat. I just lurk.
Okay, well, I can't phantom wrench you if you're just there in spirit. I need to be able to actually give you a wrench. Yeah, of course you could have a wrench on my channel.
Power.
Yeah, absolutely. So I figured we would actually start because even though I was kind of recalibrating, for lack of a better term, the last few days, I've been pretty active on Twitter, and a couple of things have been posted, and I know you've been following some of it. First off, as far as what you know, the jury foreman has been apparently doxxed, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody was telling me about that yesterday. I don't know why anybody would want to do that or who was behind it. Or I know that different people are being accused of having done it, but I don't see what purpose it serves other than not a good one.
Right. Like that's where, I mean, anything where, I mean, we've been following cases for too long, and common sense dictates that you need kind of a motive, right? For me
Mhm.
to, you know, um, and there's accusations of Turtle Boy. Now, from what I saw, they got to the bottom of it. There was some dude named Barry something.
Okay.
He posted it. He claims, in a nutshell, this is how it went down. Barry posted it, a screenshot of the dude's name from his LinkedIn. Then,
Mhm.
uh, then he claimed that Grant Smith Ellis sent him DM'd him that screenshot. He claims he got it from him.
Okay.
So, and then there's also a post from Grant Smith Ellis claiming that he's knows who the juror is and is planning on doxing him. Like, he put out like a, yeah.
What I don't understand what the purpose would be. There's no benefit to it. It makes no sense.
Right. So, so based on, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm this isn't I mean, I'll defend Turtle Boy when he, merits defending. But this is a thing where I'm just trying to get to the bottom of who would do that and why would they benefit from that? Why would they think that the rest of us would benefit from knowing who this juror is? Because I don't care. I don't care.
It doesn't make any
So,
difference. I mean,
right.
if they're gonna call the jurors back in, because they're gonna go up to the appellate, well, they don't call it the appellate division, the SJC, right? And they're gonna argue to overturn or to actually call a verdict on 1 and 3 and say that they came back not guilty, or call the jurors back in and question them, but it's gonna be anonymous anyway. I mean, there's no I heard people, like, talking about, like, "Oh, I think that this person lied on the questionnaire here, here, and here." It doesn't, like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter because it's a mistrial. There's a mistrial
That,
anyway. So it's not
that's
as
what
if
I was gonna ask you.
yeah,
Like, does that even matter? I'm hearing a lot of that same chatter. Like, okay, well, so he lied on his questionnaire. Okay. That
if he
sucks.
did, if he even did.
If he did, but what can be done about it? You know?
There's a mistrial.
Right.
Had there been a conviction, like in another case that I'm following, the Ashley Benefield case, there was a conviction. And now there's allegations that one of the jurors there lied on their questionnaire about not having been a victim and a perpetrator of DV, it turns out. And that's what the case was about. So that's huge because the verdict, they may have never wanted that person on the jury. They may have been able to use a peremptory and get that person off. And that could overturn her conviction or get her a new trial. But here it's a mistrial. So
Right.
there's no benefit to be gained from that at all.
Yeah. It's already, I mean, I know that Karen Reed's defense filed something with the Supreme Court, and so they're willing to listen to it, and I think that's as far as it's
Right.
gone, right?
Yeah, actually, the brief is due tomorrow. The Commonwealth's brief is due tomorrow. So last I checked the docket, it was not filed yet. But when it is filed, I'll go over that. And then they will argue that. I think November 6th is the date for the argument. And that's why they brought Marty Weinberg on to argue that in front of the
Right.
appellate court. Yeah.
Right. Which, yeah. So I mean, I'm not seeing anything that tells me, first of all, that Turtle Boy docs this. I mean, in my post on Twitter, I was like, well, why would he do that? It doesn't make sense. Because especially somebody in his position, think about it for a second. So you've got this guy who now has an attorney who wrote a direct letter to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts claiming that they could prove that the Commonwealth colluded to frame Turtle Boy.
Right.
So you've got this guy who now knows for a fact, okay, now knows for a fact the lengths that this government will go to have him locked up, right?
And the
So
people that they will use to conspire with is just beyond. Why would he risk it?
Right. It doesn't make sense.
Makes no
It makes
sense.
absolutely no sense. Like this dude is absolutely tiptoeing. Hold on. Meredith is in the chat, so let's see what she says here. I've been accused too. He and I have both known since July 1st who the foreman is. Right. I knew that. I was there when the tip came in. 0 out of 2 of us leaked that.
Right.
Why 3+ months later would we now? Nope, this one's on Grant. Yeah, that is a much more simple explanation as to why Turtle Boy would not do that. It just and I also wrote in that post, Grant, not, I don't want to get too much into him, but he's just been unhinged this whole time. Has he not? Has he not
I
made
think that's being
crazy,
kind.
unhinged decisions?
I think that's being
Like
kind.
the accusations he's made, the lies that he's told, they're like that. There's no logical reason why someone would do those things. So if I'm trying to figure out who would do this thing that makes no logical sense, I'm probably going to go to the guy that the evidence is pointing at and is already proven that he is more than capable of doing things that make no sense.
And or
Right?
someone else who wanted to, put some heat back onto Aiden, who
Right.
knows? But
That
I mean, at this point, certainly, I think he's smart enough to not risk his freedom or anything
right.
else by doing something dumb like that,
It's
right?
just seeing such an effort with this campaign, Turtle Boy, Turtle Boy, Turtle Boy. You're like, but why hasn't anybody shown evidence that he doxed? Whereas all I'm seeing are these screenshots of Grant and his own posts. You know what I mean? Like,
I
so
don't
yeah.
read it. I don't read it. And I don't know how many other people follow it, but I'm just like, this guy's been a problem for as long as I've been covering this case. He had the opportunity to ask Alan Jackson questions as he was walking by him into the courthouse. And the question he chose to ask him was, did you have fun with Melanie Little in Cancun? I mean, this is the kind of person that you're dealing with. I swear he really did that. So like, this is what you're dealing with.
Well, then that shows the caliber of journalist that Grant
Yeah.
is, because I was in Cancun with Alan Jackson. It was me. Oh,
See, he's not very good at his job.
Grant's not very good at his job. So uh so yeah, verdict: Turtle Boy guilty or not guilty of doxing juror Foreman? I'm gonna go with not guilty.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Oh, that's the Law and Order thing. Yeah, I
The
mean,
what? I just like doing it.
Law and
Yeah,
Order, isn't that? I mean, they just called us Stabler and Benson, so I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. I
I'll
love
allow
it.
it. I don't know that it was Grant, but I don't think it was Aiden. And listen, there's a lot of people over
Aiden has
there.
nothing to gain
It's
by doing that.
unfortunate that there are sides here, but there are a lot of people who, right now, given the opportunity, want to take the heat off themselves and keep themselves out of the clink. That would have reason to try and throw some
Yeah,
more attention onto him. I mean, we can name
facts.
them, but we don't need to.
Don't need to. Everybody here knows.
Mhm.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, the chat is right there with us.
Yeah.
I
This is
mean,
why Twitter is just, there's nothing good that can come of it. It's a bunch of twidiots.
yeah, but I don't get to join you in that trash talk because I engage in it.
I'd want to be
Uh,
a tweethard, but there's no
I
such thing on Twitter. It's
I've always
twits and twidiots.
I've always been known to enjoy getting muddy. I like to play in the mud. I can't help it.
You know
So
what they say.
oh, you know what I'm doing today? I'm feeling saucy, Melanie.
Uh-oh.
I'm giving Joe Flip ahead a wrench. Yeah,
He's been making some
Joe
funny videos lately.
Flip ahead.
Yeah. Leona Henderson says they're all scared because the truth is coming out and Turtle Boy will be free. Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I'm completely and totally convinced at this point that this is just insane, just desperation coming from these people, just desperate, like basically tantrum throwing.
Yeah.
Mom's like, yeah, I locked up your toys and I turned off the power so you can't turn on the TV. Now what? And then
Mhm.
it's you know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to play in the sandbox well together. I mean, that's pretty obvious,
Right.
right?
So yeah, that's what they're doing. Bunch of
Just
children.
stupid.
Yeah. It's fascinating too, because like I'm pretty sure it's her. They're saying it's her, and it's like that redheaded lady from the 2020 episode who has that cringy picture of her holding John O'Keefe's picture. And she likes to go at it with me on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's really
Wait, is that the
stupid.
girl that
It's really
dated John O'Keefe like 25 years ago?
right.
That girl, like
Yeah.
Tara something or something like that. Yeah.
Stage 25 clinger.
Sorry to pick Bundy.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, and then of course, finally Sue O'Connell ghosted me. I'm sad about that.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your
Yeah.
loss. Did she block you or she ghosted you?
She hasn't blocked me yet. To her credit, she hasn't blocked me yet. Twattendorfer has,
What a shame.
and I think this Andy Dufresne idiot has, and yeah,
I'll keep my feelings to myself on that
yeah.
one.
Twitter's a whole nother universe, man. It's pretty wild. It's the Wild West out there, man. It really is.
Yes,
And I got to admit, I enjoy it to a certain degree. At some points, it really annoys me, but there's other points where I'm just like, this is wild, and I love it.
as long as you think it's funny and it's not, raising your blood pressure and you're not gonna,
Oh
pitch a
no,
heart attack or anything. But
no.
Sue
The only
O'Connell
time
is
that
God,
happens is like when there's doxing that takes place. That makes me mad. I don't like doxing.
I know.
Like you no longer have an argument, and then you're just gonna like try to ruin someone's life. Like that's crazy. That is crazy.
It really is. Sue O'Connell seems to be in this. There's going to be, is it 48 hours that they're doing on Friday night?
It's
No,
Dateline.
Dateline. All right, because it's going
Yeah.
to be Dateline. I think they've already done Nightline. Yeah, so this is
It's
Dateline.
I already don't have any faith in this Dateline episode. You know
But
why I
isn't
don't have
Sue
any faith
O'Connell in the promo?
Yeah, that's I'm gonna explain. I don't
Yeah.
have faith in this episode because Sue O'Connell's in the promo, and I can't even get Sue O'Connell to talk about basic facts of this case that I know she's aware of.
Huh.
Nobody can do it. Nobody can ask. She's a commentator, not a journalist, but a professional commentator,
Sure.
and yet she has no comment on all
She's
of
not
the
commentating?
developments in the case in the last 3-4 months. Okay.
And she lives
I
in
find
Canton. Does she live in
and she's a
Canton?
Canton resident, right? And then she just destroyed the citizens of Canton on her little show the other day, and that made everyone upset. And it made me upset for them.
Well, that begs the question, how long has she lived in Canton, and does she know any of the players that are involved here? I'm just
I don't
curious
know.
now, because I don't know how big the town is, but seems like everyone's related or everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to talk about the rubber duckies, but she's not going to talk about how ridiculous the investigation into the rubber duckies is, especially versus the investigation into the murder of a Boston police officer. So, I'd really love to know her thoughts on that, and yet she refuses to share them. I will get nothing but a dance all over Twitter for it, and then so what am I going to think she's going to say on Dateline? Not much.
I mean, has any of the local channels up there reported on this rubber duck scandal? Because
No,
really, it must be a scandal because the police report was 36 pages long.
Right. But it's not newsworthy. I wonder why it's not newsworthy. The reason why it's not newsworthy is because there's an investigation into it, and they know that there's no human being with half a brain who's going to see that on the news and not ask, why are they putting that much into investigating rubber duckies? Everyone will do that.
Right. What the duck? I mean, they went and they pulled his telematics data from his vehicle. They brought like the forensics team down there. They brought all the equipment and they pulled his to see where he was, if he was in the area of where these rubber ducks were. And this monopoly money was. so that they could bust him on littering and witness intimidation charges.
Like, tell me that's just not cops throwing their weight around like blatantly. You know, it's crazy. It's like they're trying to send a message, you know, and because they're cops, there's so many idiots out there that are like, it's damn right those cops are sending a message. It's like, wait a minute. But we're just wondering why they didn't send a message to cop killers. You know, like that's the issue. Why
Why
didn't
is
they
it that
send a
certain
message?
people, look, Aiden is a witness. Aiden is a witness in his own case, right? He's got the right to testify. He is under the law. He is a witness. Why is it that when people come for him, and attack him on a public street or whatever, want to throw hands with him, why is that not witness intimidation? This law is
Yeah,
so broad. It's so overly broad and really basically so ridiculous that
incredibly unconstitutional. Incredibly
anybody could be
unconstitutional.
prosecuted under this witness intimidation statute, but
Right.
it's selective
Potential
prosecution.
witness. It specifically says potential witness.
Or their
So
family.
who's not a every person in this chat is a potential witness.
That's right.
I'm a potential witness. Everybody's a potential witness. So if they want to weaponize this law, they can, and we know that they can because we've seen them do it time and time again.
And they will continue to do so until the law is deemed to be maybe perhaps overly broad and perhaps just a little bit unconstitutional.
Right.
And I'm sure that
at least
killer
clean it up
bees
a little bit,
on
right?
it.
At least tighten it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like if you're not gonna just get rid of it, like at least tighten it up.
They used it to arrest Brian Walsh too. So
yeah, but who cares if they drop that charge? Right. You know what I mean? Like you look
but
at
that's what I'm
else.
saying. Like they needed a reason, and that was their reason.
Oh my goodness, Yuri's math teacher again. Wow. Oh my God.
Another 10?
Another. Yuri's math teacher, you are too much. You are too generous. Thank you.
Kim Robinson is pointing out in the chat that Coffin Doofus doxed Dr. Wolf's wife and kids. So, there's that. And then I think you said that she posted something about how horrific this was about the juror and blaming Aiden for it. And is that true? Did she dox Dr. Wolf? You remember one of the crash daddies?
I saw somebody say, I don't know if she did, but I saw somebody saying so on Twitter. So what I know is just rumor. I don't know if it's actually true.
Yeah, it's
but I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, like think about it, man. Like he was 50% of the most damning of the defense witnesses, right? And now, and I specify the defense witnesses because there were prosecution witnesses that were way more damning than those guys.
Yep.
So, I mean, to me, it's just like these people are going to be mad. They're going to be mad because all of us get to say, hey, the jury wasn't allowed to know that there was an FBI investigation. So there was no way to really explain why those guys were there.
Right.
And they sounded so professional and they sounded, like it. If you didn't know better, you would assume that a team like Yannetti and Jackson and Little would have hired him. You know what I mean?
Right.
You would assume that, So if they had known that the FBI had independently hired them because the Norfolk County DA was under federal investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office, then I mean, I don't see how that wouldn't have been a plain not guilty verdict all the way through and through.
If this foreman, right, is a former law enforcement who people pointed out may have been hit by a car while on duty, as a pedestrian.
Yeah.
Would he be a little biased towards somebody who is alleged to have also hit a police officer as a pedestrian?
You're an attorney. If this question was on the questionnaire, would you choose him if you were defending Karen Reed?
Probably not. But again, we don't know what he said on his questionnaire. But we don't. Who knows what the verdict would? I mean, we can all sit here all day and we can talk until we're blue in the face and try and guess what the verdict would have been if they knew this, that, and the other thing.
True.
The reality is we're going to a retrial. Apparently, I mean, they're going to push this train down the track. So we'll see what happens with the appeal, whether or not they're going to be able to call all the jurors back in and at least try and, get rid of charges 1 and 3. But not that hopeful. But again,
No.
doxing this juror does nothing other than harm to this man or woman.
Right.
Because they don't deserve that. But people, idiots are just going to be idiots, and you can't fix stupid. So
it's a good point.
I don't know.
It's always true. Oh man. Oh my God, I'm just a girl in the World Gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, she's the best.
And congrats to all you guys who got memberships.
How many of those people in that clip are going to wind up in like the Diddy papers? You're going to have to like redo that. You're going to have to get a whole nother applause clip.
Listen, everybody here knows I ain't never met none of them damn people. I'm gonna leave them up there in their clap of shame.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I thought Leo DiCaprio was in that clip, but I don't think so.
What's funny is I just never cared who was in it. Like I just saw that it was like from the Oscars or the Golden Globes or something, and I was like, okay, like I noticed Liza Minnelli going, oh, and that's it. I
think Kate Winslet is in there too. I thought I saw Kate Winslet.
Probably. She's in my intro. Well, my face superimposed on hers.
On Kate Winslet? Oh.
Yeah. And I have, I remember Teal Swan is the girl's face who I swapped for DiCaprio and for Teal Swan is like this cult leader. And I just thought it was funny to put her on there. I saw this Hulu documentary on her, and she's an asshole. She's
she's a cult leader.
She's bad. Yeah. She does all these big. Let me see if I can find. Wow, I can't believe that. Who knew we were going to go down a Teal Swan rabbit hole? Possibly. Thank you so much.
We can go anywhere we want.
We can do anything we want. We have no plans, but
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Can you explain who that is for those of us who don't know? Like the first picture I thought was Johnny Depp. Like, is that Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean? And then this idiot dancing. Like, is that a real character? Like, who is this person?
I'm still laughing. I have to interrupt you. I'm still laughing because of how when there's someone backstage when I do that. It's like this weird, awkward thing that I never pinpointed before. Just making someone wait through it, like sitting backstage going.
Like I've seen it before because I watch your show. I lurk in chat, and I'm like, is that Johnny Depp? And then who's that person dancing with that weird ponytail thing on?
Oh my God! I've told this story 1,000 times. Here we go. Okay, I'll tell you in a second. Let me read this, guys. I want to know if the foreman told the jury that Turtle Boy hired the ARCA guys. I need that to be confirmed one way or another. Seems important to me. I want to know if the foreman told the jury that Turtle Boy. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Right? And
was that
maybe one of the interviews that he did?
Again, that's rumor. That's rumor that the foreman or someone told the jury that Turtle Boy. Well, it's what one of the jurors told Turtle Boy in one of his interviews, I believe.
Or that they were like tossing that around, like trying to figure out who hired them. Someone thought it was Turtle Boy, and someone said they thought it was maybe the auto insurance carrier that was defending like a civil case because they couldn't really figure it out. And nobody thought it was the FBI, apparently. Like that didn't even occur to them.
Right. Yeah.
Which seems sus to us because we know so much about this case, right? But I
Yeah.
don't know if they really would have gone there. Even though somebody said the feds once or twice, we heard a slip once or twice, but it's so hard to put yourself in the position of not knowing anything about the case and coming at it from that perspective when you know every single thing about the case. And you're like, so ridiculous. How could they possibly not have seen that? How could they not have known that? But there are people out there who do not pay close attention to things such as this, I guess. And they were all
No.
on the jury, all of them.
Yeah, every single one of them. Every single one of them. Like yeah, I this whole thing is just wild to me. Except oh my god.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
If you play that one more time, I'm leaving.
I'm so sorry. All right, I'll give it a rest.
Now,
But
you guys, pay attention.
I
If he
needed
does
that
again,
laugh
I'm
one more
leaving.
time.
Who
Okay,
did
so I
Johnny
owe
Depp-
you an explanation, though. I owe
Yeah.
you an explanation.
Yeah, you owe me an explanation.
So a while back, I don't know if you remember the Kylie Rodney case. It was the girl who
Yes.
in Truckee who drove her
Yes.
car into a ravine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a not a ravine. That's the wrong word.
It's like a lake.
Yeah. And this dude who happens to be a pretty famous rapper country artist named Ryan Upchurch.
Okay.
Like he has like 3 million subs.
Mhm.
He's really popular. And he decided to involve himself in the case. And he went just off the rails, like just off the rails. He had the most outlandish, insane theories, and they were too funny to not review. So I reviewed them a lot, and and you know, we had a little kind of a rivalry thing going on. Actually, like now I have no hard feelings against the guy at all. I never really
because
did.
aren't you now fighting on
But-
Twitter with the guy that had a lawsuit? He had a lawsuit against.
Oh
him,
yeah,
right?
yeah, but that's
So,
not why. That's not
funny how
why.
things
Like we
come
were
full
already.
circle.
Yeah, he's already come in my chat a couple of times before that that stuff with that idiot ever even happened. But yeah, so at one point when he was, you know, going back and forth with me and a couple other people, mostly just me, but he was making fun of people who would get super chats because his channel's not even monetized and he's at 3 million subs, so that tells you he doesn't need it
Here.
so
Yeah.
so like he was mocking, he made a video and he was mocking us creators, and whenever there's a super chat, like he would make fun of us and go, oh, look at how they get all excited about a couple of bucks that come in, you know, and then they go, I think I got a super chat. I think I got a super chat. He was like making fun of us doing that, mocking us, and it was really funny actually. And then someone clipped it and made that video and superimposed his face over some crackhead's dancer. and I found it and I've been using it for super chat ever since. So it's just my little way of trolling him.
It is funny.
Back
It
from
is
trolling us. So, you know, yeah. Sherry Ebling. No dance. Sorry. Because of the potty poopa.
It's okay, but it's just, you know, it's funny the first time.
No, I always only do it a couple of times and then I give it a rest. Like I always, yeah. Like it's just I basically just do it enough to keep it alive. That's about it.
I mean, you would never want it to die, so I can
no,
see that.
It's too good. Yeah, it's too good. And people love it, you know, like when that little kid like was doing the dance for me at in front of the courthouse, it was just like, wow, that's crazy. That is just crazy. Yeah, it was just wild. So yeah, I got to keep it alive. People made signs with, yeah, it's crazy. Thomas Audimus Anonymous, again, you win handle of the day. Handle of the day as always. SCOTUS ruled in favor of an arrested citizen journalist today. Villarreal versus Alanis. May not help Turtle Boy, but higher courts are denying overreach. Okay.
That's good news, I
Nice.
guess. Let's go
Yeah,
with
that's
that one
very
up.
good news. That's very good news. Oh man, you don't want me president, dude. You don't want me president. I bet you anything you're voting for Trump, though, aren't you?
We can't get political.
Yeah, no, I know. It was just a joke.
I mean, we could. It could be funny. It could be
Yeah,
funny.
I mean,
We
reality
could play some
guy,
clips of
reality
like
star guy, and then
debates.
YouTuber. I mean, where can you? That's the only lower place you can go. Glamasu's member for 10 months. Thank you. Hey, Will, you missed my super chat. The foreman. I did, didn't I? Hold on a second. I had it highlighted, I think, and then I got distracted.
Hey, guys.
Hold on, let me just find it the smart way. The foreman also refused to ask Auntie Bev the question regarding a split verdict. Multiple jurors wanted that clarified. He may literally have hung the jury himself. That this is one question I'm really excited to get your insight on there, Melanie. But for me, the Goodmans from your daughter. Thank you so much. For me, that's kind of a stretch. For me, I just feel like that's kind of a stretch.
It wasn't brought up in any of the motion papers, so it's not something that they can even argue now. So, I mean, we can talk about a whole bunch of stuff after the fact, and it doesn't make any difference, It's still a mistrial. Like, there's nothing more that you can do. You can't overturn a verdict that doesn't exist, right? Could you direct a verdict on the murder and the leaving the scene if it's shown that they really did acquit? You could. Will they? I don't know. Maybe. And then we're still getting a retrial, or she still has to be retried on the manslaughter charges. And hopefully this time with Hank Brennan at the helm, it's going to be a more streamlined trial and not what if any for, days at a time. And a lot of witnesses.
At least, I mean, fine. Give me a dirty special prosecutor. I don't care. Fine. At least don't make them boring. If I'm forced to have to eat a dirty prosecutor again, then fine. At least make him entertaining. At least make it. Come on, don't make me sit through another lally. That's
right. I mean, it would be better if it was more entertaining. Yes, for sure.
The second time around needs to go at second speed, please. It has to.
Well, they want to reassemble the telematics system, and they dropped 50 pieces of new evidence the other day. And, they got all kinds of new things and stuff. They are distancing themselves from Trooper Paul. They have a new accident reconstructionist. They've got now some new forensics people that have coincidentally been working with the Norfolk County DA's office for 18 years. But, they can't call Trooper Paul again. They can't. I think Garino is going to be a problem, too, based on everything that's now coming out about him and Birchmore. And he's also involved in the Brian Walsh case. And there's issues. So new witnesses. Are they going to have new theories? Who knows?
I just don't. This whole so they want to. They have a new person that's going to look over the. I guess is it the same thing as the infotainment system?
The infotainment, the telematics system. I watched back some testimony the other day of Garino, and he said that the motherboard was fried and they had to do this chip off. And he kept calling Burla because they didn't know the right software yet. And they couldn't get any information off of it, and destructive testing, this, that, and the other. But now all of a sudden it's like miraculously repaired itself. And now they're asking to do more testing on it.
Well, I don't think it repaired itself. I think the motion was to get permission to rebuild it, to actually fix it and then look it over, if I remember correctly.
Allegedly, maybe there's some information on these chips.
Right.
And
And
now they
Guarino
have new technology that can now read the chips that couldn't read the chips before. It's very confusing. So
well, it just
techies
sounds
out
like
there.
bullshit, is what it sounds like bullshit. Like, because Guarino is incredible. Somebody just said that in the chat.
Right.
Standing Stones 1776 says uh Guarino just simply is incredible. And
Right.
and I agree with that 100%, because if you remember correctly, there's also in grand jury testimony, Proctor testified that Guarino wrote a report saying that no data could be recovered
Right.
from those telematics, and that it's his now it's his job to judge based on what he finds, right?
Mhm.
So Guarino writes in this report saying he couldn't recover any data from the telematics, but it is his opinion that John O'Keefe was a victim of vehicular homicide.
I don't know
What
if Garino ever opined that, but
he
when a
did,
guy
in
says is
according to Proctor during a grand jury testimony, because I
oh,
read it like 3 times. Like, yeah, it never came up in trial, which I thought
oh,
was weird. But
well, I mean, when you cross-examine a guy and you show him a bunch of text messages that he never found, and he just looks up and says, "Kill me," like,
yeah, like
like,
right
where are
away,
you
dude.
going with that? You know,
Because
kill
this
me,
dude,
kill me.
yeah, because imagine, he's not just pulling his own strings. So you've got this, you've got Sandra Birchmore, you've got all these other cases that he's working, God knows how many, where this case, where the last thing that anybody expected was to her to actually hire a team of attorneys and fight back instead of
Yeah.
taking a plea. So he's like, everything I've done could come out in the open now,
Or
you know?
everything I've not done, or everything I've missed, or everything I've failed to
Right.
find,
Because
and
every single case, I imagine every single case, there's somebody, probably Tully or Buchanan, who's going, "You're gonna not find anything here," or "This is what you're gonna say in your report."
or in some of the cases, Garino would be the one extrapolating or, extracting the data, and then Fanning would be the one interpreting it. Like, I think that was in Birchmore. Fanning would be the one to interpret it, and he would find nothing, and he would find, none of the 32,000 text messages on Farwell's phone between Farwell and Sandra Birchmore.
And Fanning's hands are all in the Walsh case too, man.
Hmm. It's all the same guys. They're all assigned to the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. So every homicide in Norfolk County, it's really the same players. And they've got a lot of profile ones coming up. I mean, this Dr. Turk, he allegedly killed his wife and drowned her in the pond, put some rocks in her yoga pants, and she was found. And I was reading the file on that. I have most of the file. And he allegedly confessed and was told them where to find the body. And he's a doctor. He's like a robotic surgeon. But this was in,
Yeah, no
what,
wonder Reddington didn't
2020?
give a shit when he told me about it. Like, no wonder. Because I mean, he's defending the guy, but yeah, he was just like, yeah, some psycho back there that never forget that shit. I'll never forget that. That was the most bizarre experience that I will probably ever have in a courtroom. Hopefully.
Hmm.
Hopefully.
Right.
I just caught
What
what
you
I
wish
just
for.
said there. Like, yeah. Oh, I hope that's I hope that's the most bizarre experience I'll ever have in a courtroom. But so far, knock on wood, it is.
I mean, it's interesting because they did all of this destructive testing on Karen's car with her Lexus. Why didn't they reach out to Lexus to see if they could get the information for them? Why did they have to use Burla? And then he says he went to like a cybercrime conference. And while he was at the cybercrime conference, Garino said he talked to the guy at the booth, the booth. The guy at the booth at the cyber. It's like going to crime con, right? Like going to the booth for duty Ron and expected him to give you the answer to solve a crime. It was ridiculous what he did. He went to the, talk to the Burla rep and he's like, hey, when are you gonna be able to get this Lexus information for me? When are you gonna have the update? And the whole thing just sounds very wrong. It just, and it just feels wrong. And but in the same by the same token, he was able to go to Brian Walsh's Volvo and just get all that information without even the car leaving the garage. Just stick a little USB port in, pull all the information out, and that was a 2019 Volvo. So, if it comes out that he lied on the stand and that stuff really did exist, that software, he's got a problem, because when we watched back the testimony the other night, he is like, you could not.
That's actually interesting. Do you
So
think that this new,
uncomfortable.
do you
So
think that,
uncomfortable during direct examination by Lally. He's like
yeah,
he's like white knuckled, and he's like he looks like he needs a vomit bucket, and he's just like,
yeah,
very,
yeah,
very nervous. It's really weird. And, he testifies a lot, I'm sure, a lot. He should feel comfortable, about as comfortable on the stand as Brian Albert felt, and Garino, remember when he came in and he looked at the jury and he's like,
you don't sit at the
"Good morning,
stand
everyone.
and go,
Good morning, everyone."
kill me. You don't do that, right?
Yeah.
Like right into the mic. You don't do that if you're confident in your investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Yeah. Like, why would you do that?
He didn't think the mic was on.
I mean, the jury was sitting right there, weren't they? Unless it was a voir dire.
They were sitting right there. Kill me now.
Crazy. Like the whole system in Norfolk County is fucked.
Yeah.
It's totally fucked up. Like, it's so bad.
That way.
Thank you, Stacy Face Travels. I appreciate you. It's yeah. I'm blown away by it's just one thing after the other with this case.
Somebody says, did you see the YouTuber with the last text between Karen and John? I didn't hear anyone discuss it. I don't know what that is, Joyce. I don't know what that is, but it sounds interesting.
You had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see how everybody feels about it.
Yeah.
Let's read the room here on this one.
Okay.
Because we have concerns about it.
Right.
So we just want to see how everyone will feel about it. So you have the text message exchange between John and Karen, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, the entire thread, yeah, it's been public for a long time. They only used very select portions of it during the trial, but there's it's 200 pages of Celebrite extraction from the day before, like January 28th and January 29th, I think.
Right.
There's that.
Now, you had the idea of doing a reading of it, you know, whereas so that we can, I don't want to call it a dramatic reading. I don't know,
just
but
like a read through.
Right, a read through, but I would read John's, you would read Karen's text to just give context of the conversation better. Right.
Right.
So I don't know how anybody here feels about that, because we don't want to be disrespectful to John and we don't want to be disrespectful to Karen either. But most importantly, we don't want to be disrespectful to John and his memory.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not read these yet. I just want to, we want to see how you guys feel about us reading it that way.
I mean, there's so.
How about, why don't I just put up a poll?
Yeah, you can put up a poll. There's so much the jury didn't hear. They just cherry picked some messages that kind of made, in my opinion, Karen look really bad. And also, the ones that they put up on the screen, and then they just had like the trooper, whoever read them, and maybe it was Carino even that read them. And I just feel like there's so much context that was lost, because when I read these messages, I see a girl who really wants to make up with him, that he did something that really hurt her and she really wanted to make up with him, and I see a guy who was kind of blowing her off, and then he was kind of like, are you coming out tonight? Because I need a ride, because Kurt has to go home at 5:00, because Kurt is Carrie Roberts' husband. And he was like, she's going to be in a mood if I don't shovel the driveway and stuff like that. And it's just there's so much more context there that I think the jury didn't hear about. And I think what they do is they just try and paint Karen in such a bad light, even we were looking at before, I sent you, or you sent me, or somebody sent me the the promo for this Dateline or whatever the hell it's going to be on Friday night. And like the one little clip they pick of Karen, first of all, they pick the worst thumbnail picture possible of her, which was just like disrespectful.
Yeah.
But, you know, that tells you where they're going with this whole thing to begin with. It's going to be 2 hours with commercials. It's probably going to be like 84 minutes of actual content. Some of it looks like it's new. But they always pick the one thing to make her look really mean and bad, and I don't like it because I don't think she's like that. And I think this is a more complicated relationship than anyone knows, and I don't think that there was any malice. I don't think there was any intent. I don't think that in any way, shape, or form she ever, you know, wanted to kill him, which is what they want the jury to believe.
Right.
She mowed him down. She was so mad.
Let's see what the results are so far. So we got an 80% yes. And how many votes? 279 votes. So now, yeah, I want to be very clear, and we're going to pause and we're going to give commentary and give our thoughts on what we're reading as well. And but I want to be very clear. Right, exactly, SD. None of that. No,
just like two people reading messages.
Right.
And it's part of the court record, right? I believe it's part of the court record. So, I mean, they're out there. I feel like it's helpful for people to understand what their relationship was like instead of just picking a couple of things like, oh, I fucking hate you, you're a pervert or whatever. Like that's what they want.
And it's important
the public to think.
Right. And it's important for me that you and everyone in the chat, you know, and I don't probably even have to do that, but I'm saying just it's still that's where my thoughts are. I don't want, just because I try to be funny here, you know, if we're going to do something like this, I don't want anyone to think that that's what I'm trying to do here. I know when to be respectful, and I in no way, shape, or form have any intention of being disrespectful to Karen and especially John.
Right.
So I just, you know, just want to be very clear about that and just see how you guys feel about it, because I want to be respectful to all of your sense of respect as well. So that's all. That's why I'm somewhat apprehensive about it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to. People are saying, you know, would Karen want us to? I don't know. I don't communicate with Karen. I don't have a relationship with Karen.
I don't either.
Somebody's saying that other creators did it already and they've done it, and it puts a whole new spin onto it and puts everything into a whole new light, and people would be more understanding. So,
all right, just as long as you guys understand, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart as a disclaimer, I have no intention of being in any way disrespectful at all, and I don't find this to be humorous. But I think that it would help put things into perspective if the two of us read them in roles, so that you don't confuse who's saying what, just for that simple purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So for that simple purpose, to just, you know, thoroughly inform. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Right.
Okay, so all right, that's what we're gonna do. Let's do it.
All right, we don't even have to put them up on the screen. I have a copy and you have a copy, right? We can just read them.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Let me find it real quick. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what they were showing on the screen in the courtroom. I've never seen. All right, so who's the blue and who's the green?
Okay, so I'm blue, and I'm Karen, and you are, as it says JJ on the extraction.
Okay.
All right, and so this starts at January 28th of 2022, which is the day before, and this is 9:49 a.m. You've really hurt me this time.
I'm sorry. This has been an issue with me for, sorry, the print's really small, so sorry guys.
You gotta like make it really big on your screen. That's what I do.
I don't, hold on. Oh, okay, here we go. Got it.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Wait, let's
I'm
go back to
sorry.
one. Back to one. Okay. This is
Okay.
1/28/2022 at 9:49 a.m. You've really hurt me this time.
I'm sorry. This has been an issue with me for 8 years. It physically hurts me to see everyone else in their life do things for them, and I'm forced to always be the bad guy.
I'm not the same as everyone else. Most of the time, I try and do what's healthy and smart for them. More importantly, I try to support you in what you need. You just lashed out at me and said terrible things. I don't know how you've gotten to this point with me when I'm just trying my hardest. You made your point and continue to beat me down. I have a lot going on too. Physically, I'm falling apart and trying to get answers and help. I'm just your girlfriend. I'm not a perfect person. I'm trying very hard and sometimes I treat them nothing like I used to.
I know. I'm sorry for lashing out. I'm just hurting and struggle daily with them. Always feel like I'm failing at this parenting thing. I wasn't built for this.
Oh, your niece isn't perfect, but everything wonderful about her is because of you. And then for some reason, the next one is blank from John to
Right.
Karen. It's true. I know she's her mother's daughter, but she wouldn't be so bright and successful if she lived with anyone else. Wow. Kristen just sent you 2 back-to-back messages to not lose your faith in the kids or in yourself. And there's another blank one from John to Karen.
Yeah.
And then see after that symbol, after no, it says no. And then there's like a symbol. I don't know what that is.
That's an Ankh. It means eternal life.
Okay.
But her use of it there, I couldn't tell you
Okay.
purpose of it.
No, life can pick you up sometimes. Please be happy with them and put away your frustrations for the rest of the day and be so proud of yourself, JJ.
That bothers me more than anything. Should have sent Pegs or Sarah's W-2s. We're all equal guardians.
See, now this is talking about being guardians of the kids. So this is interesting. That was sent at 1:18 p.m. on the 28th. And then Karen responds, maybe you can call someone.
Like who? What time are you coming here?
And that is 1:47. I don't know what time. Feel kind of out of it. Just trying to clear my head.
And this one's blank as well.
Okay, I think it is. Right? He says okay.
Oh yeah, he says okay. Sorry. I
Text me when you guys settle in later.
Sure.
And this is at 2:16 p.m. I feel pretty shitty about how this morning went down. I know you said sorry, but it really stung, especially when I've been trying pretty hard lately. I feel like a loser turning around and just coming back over after everything you said.
Not sure what else you want me to do. I said I'm sorry and I was out of line. If you prefer to stay home, I totally get it.
Things in my own life have been difficult too, you know.
I know.
Tell me if you're interested in someone else. Can't think of any
Nope.
other reason you've been like this.
Nope. Things have been great between us for a while. Ever consider that?
Oh, haven't been.
Kids are here, not in the mood to talk.
So you're not into it anymore. That's fine. But I don't want to keep trying and you keep treating me like this. I'm trying to hug and kiss you this morning and you whack me in the face with a pillow. Last night, you're basically like, yeah, what about when we talk about the future? So why don't you just admit you're just not into me so much anymore?
Not how it went down, but okay.
Can you please admit your head is out of the game with us?
Sick of always arguing and fighting. It's been weekly for several months now. So yeah, I'm not as quick to jump back into being lovey-dovey as you apparently. Oh my God, stop calling.
Then why would you start with me this morning? You're setting me up to fail. You start a number of fights from your end.
I've explained it a few times already. Not doing it again.
So you're not into this anymore.
Not into fighting all the time. Correct.
If you tell me you're interested in someone else, you will never hear from me again. You can have all the peace in the world.
That one's blank too.
Then stop starting with me.
I'm not answering. Stop calling.
Can you please answer after how you treated me earlier?
Kaylee is right here.
You start a rager with me out of nowhere, and then you tell me you're sick of fighting with me. That's 2:35, and then by 2:38, she says, I'm going to go grab a drink in a bit. Can you please answer?
No, Karen. Not sure why you need to announce that you're grabbing a drink, but have fun.
Seeing if you want to meet me later. Can you please call me?
I have to take them to the doctor. He has practice.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
My father just walked in.
Okay, can you please call me for 2 minutes?
Not right now.
I'm there when anyone else needs me. Yes, John, you gave me utter grief this morning. I'd like you to call me for a minute. I've been trying to get over the hump with arguing, and now you tell me you're not into things, and you don't want to fight weekly, but fly off the handle at 8 a.m. with me, like you're setting me up to fail. I've been dealing with my own personal crisis over things I have zero control over. I'd like to lean on you too sometimes. Instead, I just hear everything I've done wrong. You seriously cannot pick up for 2 seconds? Why don't you meet me at the hillside at 4:30 or 5?
That one's blank as well.
Or
What I'm
whenever.
guessing, though, real quick, what I'm
Yeah.
guessing these blank ones probably are like maybe gifts, or maybe, not an emoji, but maybe an emoji from another app or something that just doesn't show up as an image on Celebrate. Does that make sense?
Yes, or maybe like a picture or
Right.
yeah, it could be like I think, yeah, maybe an I don't know if an emoji would show up because I haven't seen one yet. Have you?
No, I haven't seen anything like that.
All right, so
Um,
that's 3:10 on the 28th. And then Karen says, or whenever you get everyone settled.
like I said, doctor now, and then he has practice till 6. If you want to go start drinking, then go for it.
I didn't know the times of his practice. I just want to give you space at the house without me there. So rather meet you out than meet at the house.
Yeah, well, now there's a 72-year-old taking up shop on my couch.
Yeah, that too. Is he going to Collins?
Not tonight.
So do you plan on going out tonight?
Karen, I don't know. You're like jonesing to drink, so go.
Okay, well, after how this morning went down, I don't think I need to be back over there with you. Get frustrated at how I am with the kids. It has nothing to do with drinking. I'm paranoid now that everything I do with them is problematic. So rather see you for a minute without the kids around.
Okay, so that's at what time? 3:40, and then this is at 4:47. Okay, so he texts her at 4:47 and he goes, "What's your plan?"
Don't have one.
So, still home?
Yes.
We just got home, waiting to see what Papa decides here, or else I have to get Patrick at 6.
Okay.
So, are you staying home or coming here?
I'm waiting to see what you end up doing. I don't want to hang out at the house too much, like I said. I think it's clear me around with the kids around is slowly killing our relationship. And our relationship is much more important to me.
Well, there's a blizzard coming, so we'll be inside all weekend.
It'll be over by noon tomorrow.
I don't think so.
I don't want to keep having this constant conflict of the dynamic of the four of us. The harder I try, the more it kills our relationship as a couple. It feels like utter shit to be in this position. Rather just meet you out for drinks when you figure out what you might look like, what your night looks like.
I got to pause here for a
Mhm.
second. Okay, because I've got some thoughts. Because it seems like a good time to pause.
Mhm.
First of all, this is it's kind of tough to read.
It is.
To be perfectly honest. Yeah. So and if I'm I'm reading it out loud as I'm hearing it. So I'm not trying to be I'm actually not trying to be dramatic, but I'm reading it out loud as I'm picturing him saying these things. And so I feel like it helps with context.
Mhm.
But the thing is here is what's really important to take notice of here is Karen doesn't seem like someone who is getting sick and tired of someone to the point to where she wants to kill them. You know,
She's
she's the
sad.
opposite. She's
Mhm.
sad. She's trying to fix the relationship, but she's trying to allude towards giving space. Like,
Yeah.
listen, and he's basically there seems to be I don't want to say tug of war, but it's like he's got his argument and she's got hers, and those two arguments are not, coming to a crossroads where they can compromise just yet. It's
And being a step parent is really hard, right? They're not married. They're not talking about getting married. He's been raising these children. So he's not even their biological child. She's now trying to step in and sort of help, but she feels like she's stepping on his toes because people have different parenting styles and it's hard to be a step parent,
that's what I'm
and
saying is I
that's what I'm
don't
feeling
think
here.
what I'm feeling is that she is saying, I know how much the kids mean to you.
Mhm.
And I'm afraid that my dynamic with the kids is unhealthy and it's going to cost us our relationship eventually. I want to preserve our relationship. I'm
Mhm.
going to go have a drink. I'm not going to, like I'm going
I'm
to
not
give some
invading your
space
space. I'm not
here.
going to come
But
over there. Yeah.
so you got to but I need you to think about what's going on here and where I'm at in this relationship because it's miserable for her too. John is dealing with the fact that he's raising these kids and he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's
Right.
doing the best he can and he's doing a good job. And he's got a lot of family support and
He
he's
doesn't though, that's the thing, they won't help him with anything, and I think
oh
that's
really?
part of the problem is that she's like, "You're the one doing everything for these kids. Every now and then I spoil them," because remember, this is not depicted in this conversation, but that morning, the big fight that they had was about her taking the niece to Dunkin' Donuts for an iced coffee before
Donuts.
school, and he got mad because either it's junk food or it's caffeine, and he really wanted them to grow up not being spoiled. And, I think that he felt that she was spoiling them and buying them expensive clothes. And, he was a more simple guy. Like he didn't want them to have
And that
things
was
like that.
her way of connecting
Yeah.
with them. That was the only way she knew how to do that without overstepping boundaries. I want you to
Right.
feel comfortable with me. I want to be this pleasant thing in your life and nothing else.
Right.
This is not somebody who is capable of murdering him because I would speculate would have a tumultuous relationship
Hmm.
with the kids where there's a jealousy factor.
Right.
I'm not seeing a jealousy factor
Yeah.
from Karen towards those kids. What I'm
Hmm.
seeing is I am baby stepping here and nothing I seem to do seems to be good enough for you.
Right.
So
No matter
and
what I do, you're going to be mad at me. So
right, and I don't want to make
how do
you
I
mad
fix
at
it?
me because I'm only a part of these kids' lives because I'm in a relationship with you. So this seems to be the point she's trying to make to him. And he is just overwhelmed already and
Hmm.
going, this chick just wants to fight with me, dude. And I get that. I am that guy. I'm not saying that I'm not comparing myself to the caliber of character that
And I've
John
been that girl
was.
too,
I'm
like,
saying that I'm the guy that will just be like, dude, I'm not fighting you. I have other shit that I am way more focused on than fighting with you. I am this moving train with this situation. You need to either get on board or get out of the way.
mhm,
But this is what's happening. I am in
right.
charge of these kids and I'm raising these kids, and you need to just get on board. I don't know what your problem is. I
Well,
have been that impatient guy before with women many
mhm.
times.
And I've been that woman who's been like, "Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's try and resolve it. Let's figure it out." And dealing with a man who is avoidant and doesn't want to deal with it at all and won't pick up the phone and won't answer the calls and avoids talking about problems because they don't want to work through issues. And that's the dynamic that I'm getting here. She wants to try and fix it and he is avoidant, and the more he pushes her away, the more anxious it makes her, right?
Sure. Right. And we've all been that person too, men
Mhm.
too, where we feel pushed away and it makes us anxious because all we want is for that person to care about us and love us as much as we love them,
Mhm.
and there's been that lack of equal exchange. We've all experienced both ends of that. You know what I mean? We've all
Yeah.
experienced both sides of that.
And she's walking on eggshells, and then she's like, the only thing she could think of why he's behaving this way is because there must be somebody else, right?
Right.
She doesn't understand that maybe it's not about somebody else, it's just about he's overwhelmed with all of this parenting that he has to do maybe.
Yeah. Like, because John's like, I don't even have time for you and I'm pissed about it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have time for somebody else. Like, like,
Right.
and I'm gonna get mad at that. You know what I mean? Because like, if I'm thinking like, dude, I, I'm sitting here and I'm telling you what my troubles are, and I'm doing the best job at this parenting thing that I possibly know how, which is nothing. I'm winging it every minute of every day, which is what parents do. Imagine being in his position. So he's winging it every minute of every day. And so the idea that him being interested in someone else and taking energy away from this effort that he has focused his entire life on, that's going to be insulting to him
Mhm.
if that's at him. That's so that causes more tension between them, you
And
know?
she's like, "All I'm trying to do is help, and every time I try and help, you just yell at me and tell me that I'm doing it wrong, and nothing that I can do for you and these children is ever gonna be good enough for you." And that's a very frustrating feeling too.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. And because she's really, in my opinion, and I don't mean any disrespect towards John, but in this exchange, she actually seems like more of the rational one to me.
Mhm.
She seems to have um an overall perspective of all of the problems, whereas John is only hyper focused on the one issue that he's having, which is trying to be a parent. But she's going all of this. So my solution is I'll take a step back if you need me to. Tell me what you need. I'm
Mhm.
trying because I'm stuck in this really unfair place where I'm just kind of in limbo because I'm not family. I'm the outsider. I'm your girlfriend. And I'm spinning plates here. you
And
know?
remember, 28 days prior to this, there was the incident in Aruba where she walks in the lobby and maybe or maybe not, Marietta Sullivan is all over him. And somebody else pointed out in the chat, this is a great point. The way he let these desperate housewives sniff around makes it logical that for Karen Reed to ask if there's someone else, right? These women are constantly texting him all the time, even that night, right? Jen
Dude,
McCabe is
that
constantly
sucks.
texting him, "Where
That's
are
gonna
you?
make
Where are you?
that's
When are
gonna
you
make
coming
anybody
here?"
insecure. That's gonna make anyone insecure.
Yeah, it's a weird, weird dynamic, but I can see
Yeah,
where she's coming from. And she's
totally.
like, she's home. Where does she live, in Mansfield? She's like, "I'm home. I don't know if I wanna come out." And you'll see as we keep reading how this all of a sudden changes
And
when he needs
I've
something from her.
for the record, so far, I've had way worse problems with a significant other than what I'm reading here. And well, I don't mean like comparing my problems to theirs. I mean, I've had like it's been worse. The dynamic has been way worse with a significant other than the dynamic the two of them seem to have, right?
Mhm.
And and I never thought about killing nobody. You know what I
Right,
mean? Not
right,
in those
right.
scenarios. I never thought about killing nobody.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to get. Remember why we're here, folks. We're trying to assess where the murder comes into play
Yeah,
here.
the motive, like, is this
Right,
motive, you know?
right,
Because that's what they wanted the jury to believe, that she had this jealousy and this anger and this hatred towards him that made her reverse 60 feet at 24 miles an hour and intentionally run him down.
right.
That's their theory based on jealousy.
So stupid.
Right?
It's the dumbest case against somebody fucking ever.
Right?
Oh my god, this case is killing me,
There's
bro.
no motive. There's no money.
Oh,
Usually it's follow the money and you can easily figure it out. You don't have that here.
no. No,
It's
there's
like an
absolutely
everyday
no motive.
relationship, you know?
Right. Right.
It's
This is
like an
one
everyday.
this sounds like one of my better ones.
Right,
It does. Like they're I mean, is John kind of being a dick? Yeah, but I mean, dude, like there's no such thing as a man. Like I'm just that's just man shit right there. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying it's very common. Like it's rare that a dude isn't like that in an exchange like that. You know what I'm
Does it make
saying?
her seem crazy because she keeps calling to want to talk to him and wants to work it out and wants him to pick up the phone?
Dude,
I don't think that makes her seem crazy. I think that's like she wants to fix. She's a solver and he may be an avoider.
dude,
That's a dynamic.
if I sat here and said, no, man, I would never be that dismissive and cold talking to someone I love, a significant other via text like that. I would never do that. And then you got a hold of my tech and then went through it,
You'd be
dude.
lying.
It would look like Bullhorn Betty's rap sheet, dude. It would be ridiculous. Like just not cold, dude.
Don't
It
bring
might
her
as
up.
well have just texted ice cubes.
Don't
I'm
bring her up.
terrible. I'm terrible. So I can't. But what's funny is, I mean, it's not funny, but what I mean is, what's interesting here is that Karen is totally the most rational one between the two of them,
That's the way
And
I feel. And I
I
don't
don't
think the
mean any
jury got to
disrespect
see
to
that.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mean any disrespect to John by saying that. I'm not taking a side here. What I'm saying is when I'm listening to two people argue,
Free
I'm
bull. I'm
like,
laughing at the free bullhorn Betty in the chat.
I should say it's a free
There's a
bull
free bullhorn Betty in the chat.
I am revoking handle of the day and re-giving it to them. Is that their name or did they just type
Oh
it?
no, that was it was just a comment.
Oh, okay. I was
Amber
like, oh,
E
shit.
said free bullhorn Betty.
Oh, now you can't do it. It's too late. Unless you thought of it on your own, it won't mean anything. So don't go through the trouble, whoever you are who's
Changing your
about to do
name.
it. Yeah, don't do it. All right. Let's
Okay, so we'll take that back. This is 506 from Karen. I don't want to keep having this constant conflict of the dynamic of the four of us. The harder I try, the more it kills our relationship as a couple. Feels like utter shit to be in this position. Rather just meet you out for drinks when you figure out what your night might look like.
Well, I have no idea what's going on, so do what you want. I need to figure out what everyone here is doing. All I know now is Madeline is coming over. No clue about Patrick yet, or if Papa is planning on hanging for a few more hours. And it's also important to catch the passive aggressive shit going on here too.
Yep.
Because they're purposely not being disrespectful to the other, right? Both of them are. He is passive aggressively responding with all of the shit that he's dealing with so that she knows in detail why he's not thinking about going out for a drink. That's what he's doing right now. It's very passive aggressive. It's a dick move, but it's an art. Like it's art. Chef's kiss, John. That was actually really good.
And it's it's happy hour. Now we're getting into happy hour because now it's like 5:12 p.m.
Like I know exactly what he's doing here, and I have been guilty of this more than I can ever possibly remember.
Yeah, somebody asked in the chat, and I want to know how far is it from Mansfield to Canton? Somebody says 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. All right. And then Karen says at 5:12 p.m. Okay, well, when you know the story, and if you want me to come up, let me know.
No, Karen, you decide what you want to do.
I know your heart isn't in this anymore. I felt it for a while, and especially lately. I'm willing to try more, but not if you approaching the point of indifference. If you want me to come up and you can head out for a while, then say so when you know what your father's doing.
You come up and I head out? Really? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at I'm only laughing at like the dickness of John in these texts. They're kind of funny. I'm sorry, they're kind of funny.
But he is
It's
kind of, right? He's kind of being that way. I have to.
He is kind of being that way. Yeah. And again, I'm
You know,
not
if
trying
we're
to
role
disrespect
playing
John's
here,
memory at
I'm
all.
if we're role playing here, I'm getting
But
pissed when I get a message like that. It's pissing me off.
because the reason why I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at John. I'm laughing at myself. This little part of me goes, ooh, every time.
Right.
I'm laughing at myself going, ooh, John, dude, what are you doing, man? Like,
Like it's cringeworthy. It's like a secondhand
it
embarrassment
is.
situation.
Yeah.
Or you can
Yeah.
feel the discomfort, right?
It's,
And
yeah.
I feel like if the jury really heard all of this, they would get to the end of it and be like, this is just like normal everyday stuff.
Right. Yeah.
There's
I mean,
no ramp up to murder here.
this is just, yeah, this is
It's
fucking at
bickering.
the end of the day. Yeah. Just bickering. That's all. It's just these people. You have a couple that doesn't have problems, doesn't exist. So you have a couple here with their problems, and that's it.
Right.
This is not motive for murder.
Nope.
Unreal.
Nope.
I've told you already, I don't bounce back as quickly as you do after we have a battle.
No, head out together or meet out.
Gonna send Patrick to Collins tonight. They're picking him up around 7. Mike may hang out too when he brings Matt over. So why don't you just come over?
Mike doesn't want to go out for a bit. I would like to. Been a shit day from the jump.
Probably. I just got sober an hour ago. This is okay.
And this is 5:20
1:28
p.m.
Yeah, 5.
This is 5:20 p.m. Right? And look, but let's just call it what it is, because his
John,
blood alcohol, and no disrespect to the not
John.
among the living, but his blood alcohol content at autopsy was 0.28.
I mean, it's fair to talk about this, isn't it? You know,
Isn't it?
like,
So when
why
she
is
says,
no one talking about this?
I know.
I did not know this.
Mhm.
This is absolutely a natural reaction because I've never read these.
Mhm.
But, I mean, like, why has no one talked about the fact that John's been drinking all day?
or he may have had a drinking problem, or you'll see as we move on through these messages, he just wanted her to come because he needed a ride. He didn't want to drive. But 0.28 is more than 3 times the legal limit. It's almost 4 times the legal limit. That's hammered. And that's at autopsy, which was done a lot of hours after his last drink.
Right. Yeah.
And so when she says in her interviews, and people have made fun of this a lot out there on the cesspool, well, I thought maybe I might have, clipped him, and then in his drunkenness, he fell and whatever. He was hammered, dude. He was 0.28. So
Yeah,
when she says like in his drunkenness, like she's saying it in a flippant way. She's not saying it to be mean. Like what she's saying is kind. The guy was hammered.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. So, like, he's kind of drunk being a dick via text, you know? I mean,
at the time of the event, at the time of his death, he was
I
absolutely
feel like I'm
hammered.
losing my man card here because like
You're losing the what?
I'm losing my man card here because, like, even though like I've been John, I as far as that goes, because he is being a little hypocritical here. Like, we got to be honest. I
Mhm.
hate to say it, but he is being a little hypocritical here because, he's been drinking all day, and he's kind of making it seem like he has all this responsibility and making her feel guilty about having all this responsibility in his argument.
Mhm.
But homie, like, you're drinking though. It's not that bad, like
And people are saying in the chat, they're like, maybe he is the one who drank all the drinks in the bar. Maybe he was drinking her drinks. Maybe it wasn't her. Was he drinking all day or was he just getting sober? He said, I just got sober an hour ago from like the day before. I don't know. I don't know if he
I
was
mean,
drinking all day, but
maybe, yeah, because that needs to be addressed as well. But the problem is that, listen, I think it's almost irresponsible. I mean, it's a year later. It's been a year since I followed this case, right? So a year later, and now I'm realizing that I feel like it's almost irresponsible. At least this is how I feel right this second. I may change my mind, but we should probably be talking about how much John was drinking and how that might have. Now, again, this is not victim blaming. I want to be very clear about that. I'm saying, how would his drinking factor into anyone having motive that night is what I'm alluding to.
right.
So could he have had an exchange? Could he have sat there smug as fuck in the bar and made comments that Brian Albert didn't like, Brian Higgins didn't like?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Because remember, there had been some messages between Karen and Higgins before where Karen pointed out to Higgins that John had seen the video of them like in the driveway after that like Super Bowl party or whatever. So, what if John said something to Higgins? Like, oh, you're hitting on my girl, right?
That's what I'm saying. We know that he knows about Higgins and Karen to some degree. We know because he asked, did you guys hook up?
Yeah.
So we know that he knows about her and Higgins to some degree. As far as how much he knew, I don't, but I have no idea. But we know to some degree that there was definitely an interest there. And, and John strikes me as the kind of guy that even when drinking, he's observing, but if he's drinking, he's also stewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people get angry when they drink, right?
Sure.
People get jealous when they drink.
And if I'm John and I'm in that position and I'm in that place with my girlfriend, I'm going to be looking at dude because I don't want to take it out of my girlfriend. Right. I don't want to be mad at my girlfriend. Who's the next best person to do that to? The person who is I have to question whether or not is a threat to me. If there's that chance that person is a threat to me and I'm drinking and I'm watching him and he's acting like
he's over there like doing the grab ass thing and the thing, and then somebody yells at him to come here.
My gears are grinding. My wheels are turning and my gears are grinding. Straight up. Like
Think
that's
about
not
this too.
Yeah.
He's 0.28 at autopsy, right? On his BAC. When we see him walk out of the bar, right? He doesn't look like he's stumbling. He doesn't look like he's like doing the bobbing and weaving and holding onto the wall to try and get out.
He can hold his liquor. He can hold his liquor.
Did he drink more inside 34 Fairview?
Right.
I mean, you could say one of two things. He was a habitual drinker who had a very high tolerance, and he could be a 0.28 and he could not look like he's hammered, and he's not stumbling, he's not falling down, but really a 0.28. I mean, he's, let's say you're his size, perhaps, maybe about, right? Like, how tall are you? I think he was like
0.28 is nothing.
Have you ever done like a blow and go just to test it out?
That's halftime.
I don't know. You guys in the chat, you tell me that's almost 4 times the legal limit. That's a lot. He was 6'2" and what? How much did he weigh? I don't know. 200? I don't even remember. Do you remember his stats?
No.
So did he drink more? I mean, that could be proof that he went and drank more.
Scott knows what's up.
If they've got video of him.
It is a lot. I have a high tolerance, but I used to drink a lot.
Happy hours.
I mean,
happy hour of stop.
Yeah, but the tolerance doesn't go away because I was drinking the whole time in Chicago. I mean, the whole time. I woke up and it was vacation, full on. We got up, we went to the music festival and drank. the
But
entire
did you
day.
ever like blow in anything to test it?
No, but I mean, I guarantee you that the amount of alcohol and the type of alcohol that I consumed would have put me at a 0.28 in no time.
So people are saying, yeah, he didn't have time to get drunk at Fairview because his last steps were only a few minutes after Karen dropped him off. But there's video of the time that he was at McCarthy's. I mean, they could have counted his drinks too, right? And he was drinking beer, from what I understand. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe he was drinking all day.
Yeah, or maybe he, you know, like you said, drank the night before, and he was just like, okay, I just now,
Right.
meaning that he got over his hangover, and he just said sober instead. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's something at this point, if we're really speculating as to what happened to him, it's irresponsible to not factor in the possibility and even the likelihood, because the evidence kind of dictates it to this point that he had a lot to drink that day,
Yeah.
and there might have been words that were said between people who were drinking a lot that somebody didn't like and triggered a chain of events.
And remember, Brian Albert and Brian Higgins were just coming back from the police officer's funeral in New York City. So they had been drinking for days.
Right. Yeah. This is a yeah. This
And it was
is
whiskey,
a
it wasn't beer.
right. Yeah, this is just there's a lot to consider here.
All right. So after he says, I just got sober an hour ago, and that was at 5:20. And then by 5:25, Karen says, I'll let you hang with Mike for a few. Don't need to butt in. Text me if and when you think you may head out. Can you send me Tim Zoll's contact info, please?
And
Who's
I'm
that?
assuming, I'm assuming it's somebody that they contract something from. So he said, I paid the last bill, meaning that he didn't.
Oh,
Yeah. So
you didn't have to do that. Thanks. Okay, now this is at 5:32 p.m. Are you really not going to accept my friend request?
on what? Facebook?
Yeah, we've been going out for 2 years. I told you Facebook is good for nothing. It's good for nothing. It causes more problems in relationships and more fights than any other social media.
I haven't gone on. You defriended me over a year ago, I believe.
And then she says at 6:05, Kerry texted that they're headed out in a bit, and that's Kerri. And it's not Kerry Roberts, it's the other Kerry, the woman who was the nurse. I think was that Mike Camerano's wife? Was her name Kerry Camerano?
I'm not sure.
I think so. Do you guys know?
Hold on,
Kerri. Anyway, she says Kerry texted that they're headed out in a bit.
Let me read this real quick. Derek says, I need a blue wrench for protection against the duck mob. No, seriously, how do I get a blue wrench in the chat? Step one, you don't ask for one. That's step one.
Never ask for one.
Yeah, that's step one. Never ask for one. And then John responds to that with okay.
She's gonna let me know where.
So you're going to meet them?
Just presenting it as an option. Wouldn't mind hanging out with them for a drink. Is Mike over?
Yeah.
Sounds you're like good with getting together tonight. Was hoping after this morning you'd be interested in smoothing things over with me.
I told you to come over, but you insisted on meeting me out somewhere.
Mike is a little off with me for a while now. I've said that multiple times.
Time to get over it, Karen. He's fine. He was fine the other night when he came by.
Yeah, just wouldn't mind hanging out with other people, like another female too.
Where are you meeting them?
I don't have plans with them. She just said they're headed out in a bit and we'll text when they land somewhere. If you want to go out with Mike solo, that's fine. Just let me know.
I already told you what you should do. Not going to keep doing this.
I asked you to let me know if you guys are going to head out. I haven't been out for drinks this week, and I've had a shit week and a shit day. And I dread Kaylee or Pat is going to get chatty with me the second I walk in, and that's what's going to irritate you.
Pat is leaving. Kay is with Mad Cam. I'll text Chris then. And I guess he's talking about Chris Albert.
Chris Albert. Huh. Oh, Chris Camerano, maybe.
Oh,
Oh, no,
Chris
his name's
Camerano.
his name's Mike Camerano, right?
Right. So he just said I'll text Chris then.
Oh, that's
because remember he met up. He went into D&E earlier that afternoon.
right.
Said we're heading out shortly. What's your plan, Karen?
Do you want me to join or no?
Yes. Wasn't sure if you were meeting the Curans.
Oh, the Currans. Yeah, that maybe it was Carrie Curran. They're not out drinking yet. Where are you headed?
Trying to decide maybe McCarthy's.
Okay, then let me know where you decide. I'm still down in Medfield. Oh, wait, is it Mansfield that she lives? Mansfield or Medfield? It says Mfield.
Yeah. Text me when you leave. Still waiting on McKinney's.
I'm having issues with my hot water, so I had to text someone to take a look.
Are you trying to piss me off? Hope your plumber buddy that you texted is hot.
And this is what, 7:26. And now he's jealous after he's been avoiding her all day.
Oh my God.
Nope, my shower only got lukewarm and now my sink won't run hot at all. The plumber I used to use is right down the road. I turned that temp thing in the basement all the way up.
Check the water heater and see if it's leaking.
It's not.
Don't do that. Is the pilot lit?
I was trying to get my shower hot. Yes.
Jared's a smartass. Don't turn it all the way up. It will burn out.
I had this issue twice before and it wasn't a disaster. I just can't remember what the cause was.
Just turn it back to where it was and get over here.
Oh, now you want me. I don't want to come home in a blizzard and then really be up shit creek.
So you're going home tonight?
Or tomorrow or whenever. I've had a chill all day since my shower.
It's going to snow all day tomorrow. No driving. We're heading to McCarthy's.
Okay, let me know if you end up leaving.
Why? Now you're not coming?
I'm waiting for the plumber. I actually think he's in the driveway.
We're taking Mike's car, so I'm relying on you for a ride home if he leaves.
There it is.
Yep.
7:43 p.m. He's not going home after?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because this is the text exchange. Now, were there calls that took place between these texts?
It doesn't say.
Because
again,
if there weren't, then you've got John right here who basically just cornered her into coming out.
Right.
Like she's dealing with a plumber. She's got a busted water heater. She's like, dude,
there's a blizzard coming. Like, why don't you just hang out with your friend? I'm good. We already had a fight and you don't seem to want to make up with me anyway. And you won't pick up the phone when I've tried to call you a bunch of times either.
And he seems to be picking a fight. You know, oh, you're trying to piss me off with the plumber. And okay, I hope your plumber's hot. Probably because she made some comment to somebody being hot, and he's not letting it go, because that's what we all do when we're insecure douchebags. Not saying that he was an insecure douchebag. I'm saying men are insecure douchebags. We all are. It just depends on the woman who brings it out in us.
But it sounded like he now needs a ride. So now he's like, when are you coming? When are you coming? And it's only 7:40, but at 5 o'clock, he was like, I don't know, do whatever you want, Karen. And then by 7:40, he's like, what time are you coming? It is a little passive aggressive. Somebody's saying it totally is.
Dude. Yeah. Jesus.
He's not going home after
8 p.m. on a Friday. He may have to get Michael. You have a plumber coming over at 8. Knowing me and Papa should have handled it. Good luck.
I've always told you I will not put either of you out of your way the way everyone else in your life does. I knew it wasn't working right when you were at the doctor's with Kaylee, and I knew neither of you could get here. And this guy Richie fixed it the last time, whatever it was. He was supposed to be here at 5. If it's
now,
not a quick
I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Why would a woman who is capable of killing her boyfriend work so hard to be a blessing in his life? She's like, these are the things you talk to me about and that upset you. So I make a conscious effort to not be that for you. Why would someone with that kind of consideration for their spouse just decide they're going to run their boyfriend over with their car?
Right. She's like, I don't even want to bother you to come and fix my plumbing issue because you already told me how full your plate is today.
Right.
And then he gets mad at her for not letting him fix it. She's like, but I can't even get a hot shower. Like, it needs to be done now. And you're busy and you just got sober an hour ago. So now he gets mad that
Yeah.
she calls someone else and then plays all jealous. Like, yeah, hope the guy's hot.
Right. It seems like in this exchange, Karen can do nothing right. Like whatever
Exactly.
yeah, it just does. Sorry. It just does. Like she's just like, okay, I want to meet up with you to have a drink and try to salvage this between us.
Yeah.
Um, and
Or at least talk about it on the phone because you see how everything gets so misconstrued over text.
right.
They could have figured this out in a 5-second phone call or 5-minute phone call or, an 11-minute call or whatever. They said you can't talk about anything in however many minutes. Could have
Yeah,
been,
Scott's right here. John was just being a typical man, like
Yeah.
he just was. He just was. And he and yeah, in this particular exchange, she was just trying to
placate him.
right. She was, tiptoeing here in everything.
Eggshells all the time.
Totally walking on eggshells here.
Mhm.
And she's smart because she knows that this is the way, because I've adopted this method that she's adopting, or at least I've tried to. But I'm still a man, and then the douchebag comes out. But I've tried and made this effort to adopt this method that she's applying here, which is I am going to do everything in the interest of showing him that I am interested in making this relationship work, and I want to be no inconvenience or I want to be nothing but a blessing to you and complement your life.
Right.
Period. Like that is all I want to do. That way you can't lose an argument. you can't. Like she could walk away from this argument and be like, well, he just wants to argue and not feel guilty about walking away. You know what I mean?
Mhm. But she can't do anything right that day. She just can't do anything right.
Right. It's a sound method. And she's doing it the best possible way that you can, because she's saying, okay, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll do that.
Mhm.
What else do you want me to do? Okay, fine. I'll do that. Anything else, dear? That's the vibe I'm getting here.
2 good comments here. MD says, sounds like Mike and him were chatting it up, decided to go drink. And hey, Karen, can you be my Uber home?
That's
And Salty
totally
Dog
what
House.
it sounds like.
It
That's
does.
totally what it sounds like. Sorry, like just listen. I want to be very clear about something. Just because someone is a victim of a horrific crime, it doesn't give them a sainthood.
Mhm.
Okay. That's point number one. Point number two is when you have a person who you realize, who is also a victim, and you realize that there's flaws, because we all have them, even the dead.
Well, not me, but
Right. Fair enough.
just kidding. The worst.
So
I'm the worst.
when you have that, it doesn't just because you realize that this person is flawed, it doesn't mean that you're blaming them for anything either. Okay. So understand that as you read these text messages, we're seeing a very human and flawed side of John that
Right.
is very helpful to us understanding this better,
The
actually.
dynamic between their relationship, and if you watch these 48 hours or 24 hours of Dateline, Nightline, whatever the hell, everyone wants to make him seem like a saint, and they say
Right.
that. He was a saint, everyone loved him, he was the patron saint of it was it's a running theme.
Yeah, no, and I'm not getting any indication that he's a bad guy. He's just a
No,
guy.
he's human.
He's a fucking guy, dude. Like
He's human.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we do. We have men feel as though we have the world on our shoulders without taking into consideration how much the world is on a woman's shoulders as well. And we just do this. I talked about this when I talk about getting sick with a cold. We're like, oh, I'm gonna die. And women have the same symptoms and feel exactly the same thing. The only difference is that they get on with their day and nobody takes care of them when they get sick.
Moms don't get to be sick.
Right. So this is coming from that same DNA that men have.
Here's another. I want to know what you think about this comment from Salty Dog House. Says that's what a man does. You don't want another man fixing anything, no matter what, unless you're there and are freaking lazy, maybe.
Oh yeah, Amanda.
Is that true? You wouldn't want another man fixing something, fixing a girl's plumbing?
Oh, I don't give a shit. Listen, I don't have those insecurities. I'll never tell you why. I don't have those insecurities. Come in, fix my girl's shit all you want, dude. Knock yourself out.
It comes a point where you'd rather just pay someone, right? I mean,
for real. Yeah. I don't give a shit. You could have the entire fucking NFL come into your house and fucking work on your yard. I don't give a shit.
The whole NFL? Travis Kelce can come?
Every single one.
All right,
every
right
single
on.
One. Yeah. NHL too.
All right. So if it's not a quick fix, I'll just tell him to forget it. We're at 7:48 p.m. on the 28th. That's you.
Where am I?
If you need a new water heater.
Okay. If you need a new water heater, don't let him do it.
He's here now. He's here now. If it's not quick, I'm not doing it. I just want to be sure nothing is wrong or will go wrong when I'm not home. He's not a scammer. Half the quick stuff he doesn't even charge me for. He just puts the toilet seat on crooked.
And then how much time goes by here? Just like 20 minutes, maybe.
Not like 13 minutes later.
Yeah. And yeah, so he goes status.
Still here.
Yeah, he's still there.
Said he's got a Home Depot. Said he's got to go to Home Depot and probably be back mañana.
So
less than a minute later. And then she sends that emoji that I don't know what it is. Just trying to figure out if I need to be here.
What does it need?
I don't know. He showed me some piece that was all rusted. I don't understand half this stuff.
On the water heater?
Yes.
Tell him to leave it. I'll take care of it Sunday or Monday. He just wants her to come out there.
Yep. And there was all this hype right before the trial that he did not want her there. She was not invited. He did not want her there that night. She crashed guys' night. She crashed boys' night. She was not wanted. That's what they wanted everyone to believe, right?
That's true. Like
she wasn't invited. She just showed up. Did the gummy just kick in?
No. The gummy kicked in when I went to fill Clever's water up, and I forgot that I wasn't live, and I was sitting there. Let me tell you, number one. Yeah, it's still going though.
So true. He begged her to come out. All right. No, it's okay. I can either meet him here or just shut off the alarm. He used to work here while I was at work.
Does he realize it will be whiteout conditions tomorrow in the AM?
Yeah, but he just lives right down the road.
Karen, this storm is going to be intense. You can't drive.
Okay, well, if he can, he can't.
I'll do it Monday.
Oh, wait a second. My next page is blank. It says problem loading the file. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to reload it. Oh, man. I think I was on page, we're on page 50.
Why won't that? Yeah, page 50, yeah.
Okay. I better not have this problem on Monday.
You plan on being there?
I'd like to know I can take a hot shower here if I need to.
Figured you'd be in Canton until Monday.
Oh, yeah. Now he wants her to stay until Monday. See, this is so bad. It's making me crazy. And they're calling her a whack job. Really?
It's just so funny, dude. Like, I'm
Oh, this is the best text of all from him now.
I'm not even trying to lie. This is like reading a text thread with an ex-girlfriend.
This is making me twitch. The next thing that
Where
he's going to
I'm
say
the
is making me
asshole, by the
twitch.
way. Yeah.
Here it comes at 8:32 p.m. He says,
I'm getting off my phone. Let me know what you're doing.
right. Meaning I'm putting my phone down. I don't have time for you anymore. I'm not going to be checking my messages. I'm going to be unavailable.
That's a touch much.
Well, kind of. That's what it feels like.
That's you mean, yeah. I mean, I can see that, but I feel
I'm
like
I'm putting this down now.
no, I just don't want to hear any shit for not responding. That's how I would have used that context. That's the context that would have been.
And then 8:33, she says, I think the four of us together is toxic to this relationship. Would like to limit it. You've said so yourself for probably a year now.
Blizzard tomorrow. Nobody's going anywhere.
Maybe I'll come back late tonight. Bad snow is in the early AM. I'll head up there in a few minutes. Let me know if you leave.
Sure.
This is already like 8:35. Okay. Sure. You said sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's their last text exchange. That's at 8:35 p.m. And he says, sure. So nothing more. We're going to assume she shows up, right? It takes, what time did she arrive at CF McCarthy's? Because he was already there, like a little after 9. So that tracks, right? It's 8:35. She says, I'll head up there in a few minutes. Let me know if you leave. He says, sure. The next message from Karen is at 12:55:31. Right?
The last message.
Morning. The next message after he says, sure, that's at 8:35 p.m. The next message from Karen to John is on 1/29/22 at 12:55 a.m.
Yeah.
She says, I'm going home. 12:55. See you later. 1:02. Your kids are cucking. It says cucking alone, all in caps.
Right. Yeah, that's autocorrect. Fucking alone.
1:04. I'm back in Mansfield. The kids are home alone. Now, to me, this is a woman who really just wants him to respond. I don't think she really went back to Mansfield. I don't think she would have ever left those kids alone. But she's ramping up now because she wants a response from him.
And
then that's where it ends, because after that, it goes right back to the beginning.
Yeah,
really
I'm
hurt
back
me
in
this time.
Mansfield. The kids are home alone.
I'm back in
now,
Mansfield. The kids are home alone. That's at 1:04 a.m. And I think
1:04.
after that, she started leaving voicemails. And that's where it ends. So that was at 1:04. And she was mad. She was trying to get a response out of him. He wanted to keep partying. She wanted to go home. She wasn't.
There's
feeling
more
well.
here, though. There's more here, though.
But isn't that the next? It goes right back to the beginning. You
Oh,
really
does it
hurt
go
me
right
this
back to-
time. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
beginning. We're back at the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah.
again. So I don't know if this is like double and triple copies of the same thing. I think that was it. That was everything from the 28th and 29th via text.
Wow. Wow. I mean, yeah. I there's nothing in there.
How do you get from there to murder? I mean, he's begging her to come out. And then here's what I think happened. They're out with these people that she doesn't really like, right? Let's say maybe she doesn't really like Jen McCabe. Maybe she doesn't really, I mean, the Keithises seem like very nice people. She might have liked them, but I don't really think she was fans of, Jen McCabe and Nicole Albert and whoever else was there, Julie Albert. Like, she doesn't seem like she gets along with those women, right?
No.
She's a professional. I think they were all, I don't know if they worked outside the home or if they were stay-at-home moms. But she doesn't want to go back to their house. She even says at one point, like, I don't feel comfortable. Right? Where are those texts? Was that by text? When she said, like, I don't feel comfortable there. Let me know if you're where's the messages from when after he got out of the car?
That's what I want to know.
They're missing. Yeah. They're not in this Celebrate extraction, go figure.
Yeah, I'm with Microdots on that. It just doesn't add up. Like,
Mhm.
because everything that she alludes to is that he's cheating on her.
Right, because she can't understand
You know
why
what I
else he would be acting so cold and distant when she just wants to make up with him.
Right. Like
Like, in her mind, there's no other reason.
she alluded to it when she was talking to him, and then when she doesn't get a response from him, what would make sense the most
Mhm.
is that your worst fear is that something happened to him, of course, but
Right.
you're also like realizing you're like, okay, he's drunk and he's probably with another woman. Hopefully he just passed out on somebody's couch. I'm hoping that he's going to call me back and be like, sorry, babe, I passed out on somebody's couch,
Mhm.
but she's yelling at him and calling him a cheat, hoping that he would panic and go, hey, wait a minute, babe. No. Hey, what is these voice messages you're leaving? Everything's cool, blah, blah, blah. That's what she's hoping for. She's saying everything that a desperate person in a relationship would say to try to elicit a response from their significant
Right.
other who has just ghosted them.
I will not be ignored, Dan.
Of
I will
course.
not
Oh,
be
yeah.
ignored.
I
But that's
mean,
what
that
it's
doesn't
like.
make her right. That doesn't make her crazy though. Like
No,
that. I'm
no,
saying,
that was a,
dude, I've done
movie
that,
quote, but it's
but I was
he has
right
not
when
left.
I was right when I was accusing the person of cheating, but I've done the same
Oh,
thing. I'm like, you're a
sorry.
fucking whore, and I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we've all
Right.
been through that. Is my point. Is we've all been through that. It's like
Yep.
you fucking you'll say whatever it takes to get them to fucking respond to you. You know?
Right. And then somebody pointed out in the chat, Joy says, the next morning when they're in the car, of course, Jen brings up Bella's mom, or that night she even did it when they were in the car and she said they were asking directions of how to get to 34 Fairview. And then Jen McCabe said to John, oh, it's over by Bella's mom's house, because John used to date Bella's mom, pushing the buttons of, trying to make Karen jealous. And then he was on speaker, I think. And then in the morning, also, she said something about another woman that John used to date that lived in an area. Like, oh, maybe he went over to this girl's house. I think they kept trying to, like, at least Jen McCabe did, feed her stuff in the morning to ramp her up.
Yeah, and this is a very I wouldn't say that either one of them were possessive per se, but definitely insecure enough to feel jealousy.
Right.
Definitely insecure in their relationship to feel jealousy. And you've got John and he's sitting here texting with Jen this whole time. She's trying not to act jealous about it, but it's gonna bug her.
It's annoying. And also, I think Julie Albert even texted him that night, like, hey, where are you? To get off my lawn, guy.
All of a sudden there's all these women, and it's like, and they're the wives of guys who seem like they don't even really like you. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, I think for a lot of women, like, John was the one who got away, like he was the eligible bachelor. Even these women who were unhappy in their marriages, like, everybody loved John, and they still talk about it that way too. And like, if you're the girlfriend of that guy, that gets really annoying.
And I'm telling you, responsibility on a man, like taking on kids, being a sole parent, but it's a panty dropper. It is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Like, women swoon over that shit because you reek of responsibility. Like, it's like the Seinfeld episode.
Like,
remember the Seinfeld episode? He was like, dude, he was like, George was like, I don't understand what's going on. He's eating ice cream and And Jerry's like, oh, you were just engaged. You know, Susan died, and he was like, you were engaged. You were right there, dude. Like, you reek of responsibility. Now women love you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this is happening. John's not interested because he's too damn busy.
Right.
You know, like, but I feel like he wanted to be accepted by the Alberts and the McCabe's to some degree.
You think John did?
I think John did. Yeah. I think that John, I think that John liked that he was cool with Chris Albert and Brian Albert because they're powerful people in Canton, and there's a lot of popularity with Brian Albert's name. And I think that John, you know, liked the idea of getting along with them. And so he, you know, if he was invited somewhere, then okay, this is an opportunity to like hang out with some like-minded guys. Maybe this is what I need, you know.
Or he just wanted to keep the party going. Come on, let's like, maybe that's what it is. He just wanted to keep the party going because some people only drink. They want to keep drinking.
I want to give him a little
home.
more credit than that too. You know what I mean?
He wanted to go home, and she was just like, "Why can't you just come home with me?" I mean, I could see that. Like, you made me come all the way here from wherever the hell I live.
But your boys have a power over that sometimes. Like when there's a good dynamic between you and your boys, it supersedes pussy anytime.
They were not his boys, but they were not his boys.
But he thought they were, and it was a fresh thing. He was invited out with Brian and Chris, you know, and Higgins is there, and that's his friend. But now there's the Higgins thing
with
that factors in there, and things get different.
One of the things that they just turned over in Discovery on Friday is all of a sudden they have interior Canton PD hallway video and exterior driveway video from 1 a.m. that morning. And so I was thinking, like, what could that be? Is that like Higgins now stumbling into the Canton PD at 1 a.m.? Or are they going to now try and show that Higgins got to the Canton PD at 1 a.m.? Because somebody posted Nicole Albert's testimony again, like a little clip of it. And she said that Brian Higgins left at 1:30 a.m. And she said it clear as day. I mean, it's in there. But now they're going to try and show that Higgins gets to Canton PD. Maybe they're going to also show in that video that he actually was moving those cars around in the parking lot. Like, because that's why he said he went back there. So I'm curious about what that video is. I'm curious about why it's all of a sudden appearing. Like, that was never exchanged before. Like, they've had it since the night of. Why is it all of a sudden being exchanged now? Right? Weird.
Yeah.
What else would it show? Because didn't Sergeant Good, who was sitting at the desk, also testify about when Higgins came in? And he's like, did you have any conversation with him? And he was like, no, but tried to like put a time on what time he came in. Like, they swiped these key cards. They know every single time he walked into the Sally Port. Like, where's this video all of a sudden coming from? Evidence magically revealing itself.
Yeah. And there was one clip too. Well, yeah.
Deep Thoughts with Jack. Wait, what was that from SNL? Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy.
Oh, those were my favorite.
Jack Handy.
Hold on, I used to know some of them.
You're good enough. You're smart enough.
Oh,
and people like you. Damn it! That was a different guy.
Yeah, that was Stuart Smalley. Jack Handy was. If you ever fall off the Sears Tower, just go real limp, and someone might think you're a dummy and try to catch you, because hey, free dummy. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
Very good. Very good.
Those were my favorite, man.
Yeah, the old SNL is the best. Like it's nothing like it used to be.
No, yeah,
really
it goes
through
phases. It goes through phases. Like, I mean, the early 2000s were just great. And then like the 2010s, like the mid 2005, 2008, 2009 era. Like, who was it? Fred Armisen and Bill Hader and that cast.
Daryl Hammond.
Brilliant. Yep. Yeah, just brilliant. Yeah, so funny. This gave me a really
Will Ferrell.
This gave me a really different perspective on things.
I know. And I feel like if the jury had heard all of this, maybe they wouldn't have been so quick to be like, oh, yeah, she absolutely killed him in a jealous rage. Where's the jealous rage? He's the one begging her to come out. She didn't
Right.
insert herself into this evening. He was like, are you coming? When are you coming? Hope your plumber's hot. You know, it gives everything a whole
It
different
was a lot of
spin.
manipulation to get her to come out there, is what
Yeah.
it was.
She's like, it's going to be a blizzard. I don't want to drive home. And then he's like, what do you mean you're not staying till Monday? Like there's so much hot and cold from him that as a woman, it would literally drive you insane in the course of like this 8-hour period.
Yeah.
Like, you want me or you don't want me. Well, which is it?
No, I learned a lot about myself reading that. Like I
Self-reflection is good. Being self-aware is a
did.
very
Like,
important skill.
I learned a lot about myself because I was just like, wow, man, like I've been that guy exactly. And I felt perfectly justified when I was doing it. But in this exchange, he's a dick. You know,
See?
like, sorry, he's in that exchange. John O'Keefe was absolutely like, I'm giving the match to Karen on that one.
And everyone wants to make her be some really mean kind of maniac. He
Yeah.
made her that way. If it happened, he was feeding it and he knew what buttons to push. Wait, scroll back here and read this comment by Jason R.
That's the
it's a
kind
deep
of
thought by Jack Handy. I want you to read it in his voice.
is it Jason
Yeah,
R?
Jason R.
Deep
That's right.
Thoughts by Jack Handy. If you ever drop your car keys in a volcano, forget it because they are gone.
But there was a different one about it's horrible to see families torn apart, especially by wild dogs.
Oh God, there was one about Dracula that was really funny, and I can't remember it now, but it was really, really funny.
Debbie says it's heartbreaking for Karen. That's how their relationship ended, and she couldn't properly grieve. Right.
Absolutely. Because I'm trying to tell you, like, that's the kind of argument that, like, I've been in, but I've also witnessed, like, my boy in, you know, where his girlfriend will be right and go like this and go, dude, are you kidding me right now? Will, like, you heard him, and then I'll be like, I ain't nothing.
You're just staying
You
out of it.
You don't
want
give
nothing
up
to do
your
with
man
it.
card. You don't give up your man card. I mean, you just don't, you know? And partly it's because it makes you a hypocrite, because it's like, yeah, I just had that same argument. I just did the same thing with my girl last week. I mean, no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I mean, there's nothing explosive about this at all. There's nothing outrageous. There's nothing.
An adult and reading that text exchange, you know, yeah, John, dude, you were wrong, bro. And
there's no Brian Walsh type Google searches here.
No.
You know, there's nothing that points to any sort of motive, any sort of intent, any sort of you know, unhinged behavior. This was a push and pull dynamic, you know, like most relationships are.
Yeah. Like, yeah, because I'm not even convinced she drank all those drinks.
No. I mean, you see her in the video. She's not, if her blood alcohol content was 0.28, she definitely would have been bobbing and weaving and stumbling. And come on.
Even the people
She's a
who
small woman.
testified against her said that she seemed
Everyone.
perfectly. Yeah.
In all of their initial statements written by Michael Proctor, every single person said she did not seem intoxicated. Nobody was fighting. Everyone was getting along great. And then, of course, Jen McCabe had to say on the stand about one thing that Michael Proctor wrote. That's not what I told him. He wrote that down wrong. And then I think it was Alan Jackson said, oh, so you're saying Michael Proctor's lying? She's like, well, you'd have to ask him. So there's that.
Yeah. I just don't see how. I don't see how. Yeah, I don't see how this is gonna go in a second trial. How this is gonna fly, dude? It makes no sense. Hold on. So somebody just posted something and tagged me on it.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. I don't even know what this means. I think it's supposed to be, hold on. It looks like the Commonwealth New Expert doesn't have a clue. Rutro, the big old dog is right. The chip capacity is 4 gigabytes, not
I saw that.
or 4 G bits, not 4 gigabytes.
Right, 4 gigabits, not 4 gigabytes or something, right?
Okay, I don't know the difference.
Okay,
I don't know
so
what that means.
here's what they're saying is that when they did the extraction of this data, right?
Right.
The I forget, the exchange said something like, well, they only got out 256 megabytes or whatever, and the capacity of it is something like something gigabytes, but really it's gigabits or something. And so what they're saying is everything that they extracted from that chip or whatever is everything that was on it, right? You guys understand that probably better than I could explain it, but
Wow.
I don't know what this is. This has to do with the Micron chip. This is from the motherboard of the
Beats the shit out
telematic
of me, dude.
system.
Yeah, I'm lost on this one. And then hold on. I'm trying to find
Somebody said here, this is a good comment. Getting ahead of Andy School said, getting ahead of Plow with Higgins, meaning the 1 a.m. hallway video, getting ahead of Coco's incessant cleaning. Why else would Lally bring that out? Did she take a bucket to the basement? What did she do that one saw ADA circumvented? I'm good enough and I'm smart enough, and by golly, people like me.
and I have to. Is Turtle Boy going live tonight, people? Does anybody know? Because
I'll check the YouTube schedule. Hang on one second.
I have to I have to show this. Yes, Turtle Boy is scheduled to go live, everyone's saying, at 9. Okay.
Well, we can teleport everyone over there because we have.
I don't know if you ever saw this. This is so Plevin was trying to troll Turtle Boy by streaming his stream, and he had this wine idiot lady on.
Oh, she
with him.
hates me, boy. She trashes me every chance she can get on Twitter.
Now, pay close attention to what she says at the very beginning here. Pay very close attention to what she says.
She's screwed. They can only do better, the Commonwealth, this time around.
Talking about Karen Reed. Let's hear that one more time. And then I'm just going to let it play so you can hear Turtle Boy's when Plevin decides to continue with the video. See, this is what's really funny is because Plevin wanted to debate me, but it's not fair because this dude trolls himself. This is an example of him trolling himself because he was streaming Turtle Boy's stream in an effort to troll Turtle Boy. He has this woman on. She says this, and then Kevin presses play, and Turtle Boy's next words say this. Wow.
I mean, she's screwed. They can only do better, the Commonwealth, this time around.
The dumbest people in the world are on the other side, the Plevins of the world.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
I mean, she's screwed. They can only do better, the Commonwealth, this time around.
The dumbest people in the world are on the other side, the Plevins of the world.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip.
And somebody probably did clip that, didn't they?
Yeah,
or that is the clip. Oh, that's the clip.
Joe Flipperhead hooked me up and left me my request to clip it there because I was trolling Plevin, trolling Turtle Boy, and Plevin trolled himself. Like it's not even like I don't even have to do anything.
I know.
Turtle Boy doesn't even have to do anything.
I know.
It's so funny. These people are so stupid. They just are.
It is. People are like, it's really disgusting what they're doing to Karen. Yeah, I mean, people are saying in the chat that they're glad that we read these messages because it's giving them a whole new spin on what went on that night.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It is a whole new spin on what I can't believe I never bothered to read them. And I'll be honest, the only reason I didn't was because I was stuck on the whole. It's none of my business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was just like this. What I heard in the courtroom is like this sucks that the whole world is hearing this because it's not proof of anything. All it is their personal business being put out there. But now we have to analyze it in order to get a better understanding of what was
Right.
going on that night to establish whether or not she had the motive that the Commonwealth is claiming she had, but she didn't.
Right.
So
what was going on that night is that he really wanted her there. He hassled her to
Right.
come there.
Why all the Higgins talk about the plow? I think there's a chance him and Colin beat him up and Higgins plowed him off the road. I mean, I won't speculate. I appreciate it, Jason Smith. Thank you. I won't really speculate as to what actually happened. I try not to anyway, because I don't know what happened to John O'Keefe. I don't have a sound theory. The only person that I see that had real motive to kill John would have been Brian Higgins. That's the only person. If I had to speculate as to who had motive, Brian Higgins. But I don't know what happened inside that house. All I know is that the evidence dictates that John O'Keefe, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, went inside 34 Fairview Road in the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022. That's all I know. And
it could have been an accident. It could have been an accident. There could have been a scuffle. He could have
why
slipped
the cover
and
up?
smashed his head because everyone's drunk and stupid and they do stupid things and they think, all right, well, we don't want to get anybody in trouble. Like, let's say there was underage drink for whatever reason. They're cops. They don't want to, jeopardize their entire careers. Let's say it could have been something that turned into an accident. Maybe he was put outside. Maybe they just assumed he would wake up and walk home or call an Uber or whatever. And I do not think there was an intent. I don't think there was a motive because I don't think there was any intent about what happened. I think it was a stupid thing that happened. And I think it was tragic. But I definitely do not think that Karen hit John O'Keefe with her car. The injuries do not line up. I watched something that somebody sent me the other day, and I wish I could remember whose stream it was on. But there was a woman on.
And that's reason number one on a long list.
Yeah.
As to why I don't think Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with her vehicle.
And if you go back and you analyze Renee Stonebridge's testimony, she was the woman doctor who was like the brain doctor. She came in, she's the one who examined the brain. Do you remember? And she had like a tank, like a sleeveless shirt on, full sleeve tattoos. And a lot of people were like not giving her a lot of credibility because of her tattoos or whatever, that shit.
Oh, but she was getting all the credibility
testimony
from me.
Like, we should go back and dissect her testimony because I will tell you from my 30 years experience as a lawyer.
I dub the brain mama.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go back and you dissect her testimony, everything she said lines up with being pummeled by either items or fists. The way the brain was herniated, the way the brain stem was herniated, that does not come from a car accident. That does not come from falling and hitting your head on a frozen ground. That comes from, there was temporal injuries here. There was brain bleeds here. There was all of these fractures in the front of the skull. That doesn't happen from falling backwards. It just doesn't.
Right.
I mean, her testimony was invaluable for the defense, and hopefully next time they can use it more to their advantage. This trial was way drawn out. They didn't have enough time to close. 9 weeks of testimony and you get an hour to close? That's insane. I mean, we watched I don't know if you watched the Telly's trial. We watched the Telly trials. It was like 5 days long and each attorney got 90 minutes. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy that there was only an hour to state their closing arguments, considering all of the exculpatory evidence. You
could talk about reasonable doubt for an hour. What is reasonable doubt for an hour?
Right.
I would have liked them to go through the verdict form question by question and explain it better and say, if you find not guilty here, you stop. You know, I mean, that's what a trial lawyer oftentimes tries to do in a closing if they have enough time, is to go through the verdict slip with the jury and say, here, if you find this, you just stop and you're done. They didn't understand. Everything was so confusing. There was way too much testimony. There was too much time off in between days and stuff. It was a weird schedule. I don't know. Hopefully it gets streamlined next time and it's clearer. And just, you don't need to call every single person who responded to the scene.
Yeah. Like,
And like
I mean,
all the people that were in the house, they added no value to the prosecution's case, the Commonwealth's case. Call them in your rebuttal if you want to, if you feel like it's necessary to call every single person that was in 34 Fairview that night. You didn't need to call them in your case in chief because they were playing. It was like they had the ball and they were playing defense from the first day of that trial. And it went on ad nauseum for however many days. We had to listen to what, if any, in front of every question. You could have cut 3 or 4 days off the trial alone if he didn't say what, if any, before every question, and then repeat the answer to the question in his next question. That's just trial lawyering 0.
yeah, I'm like, I can't with every time I get into deep thought about this case, like
Jack
it
Andy.
takes me down a rabbit hole of just madness. What's up, buddy? I know, baby boy. Yeah, every time like I start to really think about this, like it's just like I find nothing but things wrong.
Right. And now
You
I'm
know what I
wondering,
mean?
yeah, like why is Judge Canoni, if she went to civil court, why does she also keep the Brian Walsh case too? Because it's all the same players.
Yeah. I mean, why is nobody asking that question?
Right.
You know, like why is Canoni resigning over? I mean, it's every case where
And
the
Turk
same people.
and Dr. Turk. She's got that case too. Just makes me curiouser and curiouser because I thought she went to civil court. These cases are not on trial yet. They're still in pretrial. There's plenty of time to give it to another judge. It makes you go,
Yeah.
Microdot says she should rotate off now for trial 2. I don't know. Hi, Olivia. Oh, listen, if Olivia says I made a great point, that's like points for me today because she's smarter than her tweets are like so well thought out. And I have to read them 10 times before I even understand them. A lot of times the hashtag thing, I didn't get it. The hash marks, whatever that was. I read it so many times, I just couldn't understand it.
I mean, look, this is perfectly said. This is she gives the Commonwealth that home cooking.
Yeah. Or the home protection.
Yeah. But you know,
like
yeah,
Simply Safe or like
she's saying that
what's the big alarm company? ADT, you know, like everyone's got a sign in their yard with a sticker or a fake sticker that says they have an alarm company. You know, is there some sort of protection going on here? I mean, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying it makes you think.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like, I mean, I don't know, but
Mhm.
I feel like when the Commonwealth No, I'm trying to figure out the way to word this. So I feel like the feds not intervening, right?
Mhm.
Maybe the trials themselves, because people are like, why would the feds let this even go to trial? Maybe they're looking for people. Maybe the trial has to happen to catch other people on certain crimes.
Maybe they're letting it play out. I mean, you could think of
That's
it
what
that way,
I'm
but then it's
saying.
like also it's like, but still she's incurring these expenses, you know?
She
These
is
lawyers aren't
incurring these
free.
expenses,
So,
right?
you
Right.
know, there's agita, there's like time, there's money, but you know, are they promising her something like, okay, you know, just keep going through this because
And
we
does
still
she
want to get
have?
more information and we want to keep this rolling.
And is she
don't
on the
know.
DL talking to civil lawyers? She just hasn't filed anything yet. And maybe she has a guarantee that she's going to get all that money back and then some once this is all over. I have to wonder if the feds have basically sat down, if Josh Levy sat down with Karen Reed and her defense team and said, listen, there's a lot more than just Michael Morrissey going on here. So it would be best if we just let this trial play out, right? You're just gonna have to eat this.
Guarantee
a
them a
while.
mistrial, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You're just gonna have to eat this for a while because we need to collect more evidence, and this would get us all the evidence we need to get everyone responsible and take down all the corruption.
I feel like we're living inside of a John Grisham movie.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
And I feel like when this becomes a movie, like you can't even really cast it because every single person involved in this is a character unto themselves, right? Like nobody could ever play Aiden Carney but Aiden Carney. You know, like you just like this cast of characters is such a cast of characters that I don't think actors would do them justice. You know?
No.
I feel like we're living inside a John Grisham movie and I don't know what's real anymore. I'm like really confused. We're in the upside down.
I mean, you could get like, yeah, like I the person who sticks out the most to me is Grant. That dude is just something else. Like,
but like who could play him? Nobody could play Grant except for Grant.
Mean, you
like,
could absolutely get someone to, you know, a skilled method actor could absolutely, like with the right makeup artist. Hollywood is like that, man. I mean,
how dare we? How dare we? How dare we?
I mean,
how dare we?
Like maybe like a skinny Zach Galifianakis, like the guy who does Between Two Ferns, which is like one of the fun. Ever watched Between Two Ferns? One of the funniest things ever.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan. I followed them when they first came out. They were
John C. Reilly. Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Danny Thomas got it. John C. Reilly is Grant.
Yeah, because he does look like Dr. Brule. He does look kind of like Dr. Brule.
Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Excuse me, my back was turned. My back was turned. Excuse me, my back was turned. My back was turned. Excuse me, my back was turned. My back was turned. Excuse me, my back was turned.
Really needed to laugh tonight. Thank you. Somebody said the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite. Hold on, I gotta find it.
What's funny is because he's so unique. I can't.
John Hader played Napoleon Dynamite.
I can't hate Grant, dude. Like he's too interesting of a. Like, you know what I think of? Did you ever watch the show News Radio? Did you ever watch that show? It wasn't very big. Like that's how Joe Rogan got his start. He was a regular on that show. It was a sitcom. Phil Hartman was on it after SNL.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just genius. One of the most underrated sitcoms of all time. Easily. Like it was fantastic. And there's an episode where James Caan, the actor James Caan, guest stars and plays himself.
Love him.
And he's there to shadow Phil Hartman's character because he's supposed to play a talk news guy in a movie role coming up. So he, Teresa, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh, Moratini was in that. Yep.
Yeah. Here's a little something to buy a toy. Thank you. Will do. I will absolutely go. I will get on. The Chewy website as soon as I'm done here and get him something. So yeah, James Caan, he guest stars and he's playing and himself, but he's researching a role and he's shadowing Phil Hartman's character because he's playing a news talk radio guy. But Andy Dick is also a character on that show, and Andy Dick is a total spaz, right? He knocks shit over. He's just, does everything wrong. And just a physical actor, and it's really funny. But James Caan just can't stop looking at him. He just is fascinated, and it's just so comedically genius because James Caan does nothing except sit there and go, who is that guy? I've never seen anybody like him in my life. He's fascinating. And the whole time he's supposed to be watching Phil Hartman, but he can't stop looking at Andy Dick because Andy Dick is just like, you know, getting tangled in his own phone cord and everything and stupid shit like that. Right? And he's just like, wow. That's how I feel when I look at Grant. Like, I can't get mad at him. I am fascinated. I've got to know what runs his brain, what's going through it. He is the most fascinating human being I have ever seen in my life. I mean, he looks like, what he reminds me of is a fictional character that an SNL writer on cocaine would have come up with in the 90s. That's
people are saying Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell is, you know, in his 50s and Grant is in his 30s. So I know it's going to shock a lot of you to learn that Grant is, I think, in his 30s. But you know, he said a lot of horrible things about me on Twitter that he needs to take back. I'm willing to accept your apology, Grant, because you misidentified me on the cesspool of Twitter by being Haley Walbrecht. It was not me, Grant. You owe me an apology for threatening me, for threatening my bar license, for telling people to have me disbarred, for releasing documents about your wannabe girlfriend, Lindsay. And it wasn't me, dude. Like Shaggy says, it wasn't me. It was never me. Take all that stuff back and apologize publicly. Thank you.
He's just gonna make up more shit. That's what he does. He's just gonna make up more dumb shit.
Unbelievable.
He's so fucking out there, dude. He just makes up shit. Nobody believes him. Nobody takes him seriously.
I'm actually Joe Flipperhead.
He's a threat.
Joe Flipperhead.
Joe Flipperhead. He's like, I mean, he got physical with Jess Machado, and that wasn't cool. And rightfully so. He has a protective order against him for that.
No, she has a protective order against him. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Wait, wasn't that the video that you just showed? Wasn't that the incident in question?
That was part of it. Yeah. That was Turtle Boy who caught it and videotaped it, of course. And if you watch the whole video, like Turtle Boy's just like, Grant, just, you can actually hear him in one of those where he's going, Grant, just stop it. Like,
while you're apologizing, Grant, hit that like button, would you? While you're apologizing, Grant, hit the like button.
Just stop it. Yeah, exactly, Grant. I would absolutely love to have Grant. Plevin's not allowed up here, but I'll have Grant up here. I'll let Grant.
Really? Do you think he would come? I mean, he's not. I don't think anybody has him on their shows anymore. So I don't know because I don't watch any of those shows. But maybe he would.
I would absolutely award him the opportunity to apologize for all of the lies that he's told about people. I would absolutely award him with some quarter here for that.
That would be ducking crazy.
Kaylee Jones, member 9 months. Thank you. Two of my favorite ducks in one pond. Love you both. I see what you did there.
Oh, I heard Team Brittany in the chat earlier say something like all the women were like, "Hi, I'm in glare withdrawal, and I'm having grill." And then Team Brittany's like, "Yeah, he doesn't know what a chick magnet he is." So there's that. In case you were feeling like a little, insecure today, I'm just pumping up your ego, dude.
Just save it.
You're a chick, man. They were talking about it, ladies. Ladies, you were saying that, right? You were saying that, ladies. It was in the pre-chat. It's in the pre-chat I was watching.
Well, it's about time to wrap things up.
People missed you. That's a good thing that people missed you.
I anybody who's been subscribed to me for a long time knows two things.
That you just disappear for spells at a time.
One, that I'm inconsistent, horrible. I'm just terrible at managing my own channel. And two, that yes, I need to calibrate once in a while and just,
gotta hit the reset button.
Yeah. I gotta do that once in a while.
Somebody said 40-year-old virgin in the making. Pat Sanford. About your next guest. Grant Smith Ellis or Ellis Smith or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's invited if he's willing to apologize for all of the lies that he's told. You know,
Mhm.
it's just a question of if anybody cares to hear it.
Do you think?
I'm curious if he'll do it.
I
But
mean,
between me and him, dude, fresh start, bro. Fresh start between me and you, bro. If you come on,
you're willing to wipe the slate clean with Grant?
Totally willing to wipe the slate clean with Grant Smith Ellis if he's willing to come up here, to
put his big boy pants on.
apologize. Yeah,
He's got to put the towel away. The towel thing is not a good. Like, let's just forget about this towel analogy.
What is the towel thing? He calls himself a towel.
Calls himself a towel. I think it's like a South Park reference. Does anybody know anything about that?
Is that a South Park?
He calls himself a towel all the time. He's like, the towel says this. The towel says
I know,
oh.
but I just don't know why he does it.
I think it has something to do with South Park or Family Guy or something. Does anybody know? Enlighten me. Joe Flipperhead says South Park. I'll take his word for it.
I was never a South Park guy.
They went to my alma mater, those guys. So they both went to University of Colorado Boulder. Scobuffs.
Oh, yeah, that tracks.
Scobuffs.
And South
right.
Park takes place in Colorado, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I have a friend who is a friend of my dad's who was the president of Comedy Central when he, took the meeting with those two. Took the meeting as it were.
I bet Dave Chappelle's got some words for him.
Mhm.
Did you give him his number?
Tully is a major stoner on South Park. Tully gets high on pot all the time.
Oh, is that why? Is that okay?
guess.
So okay. Wow.
Hey, maybe you can
Wow.
roast some J's together.
I mean, yeah, I would smoke one with Grant. Like, I mean, it would just basically go. So why are you like this, man? That would be the start.
I mean, look at who his mother is. I mean, you kind of got to feel bad for the guy. That's why I'm willing to accept his apology.
Yeah.
Because I do think
never had a chance.
I do not think that he's a mean person deep down. I think that he's been used a lot in his life.
I think he just doesn't understand
people's agenda.
Yeah, like I don't think that he understands consequences. That's what I think.
Well, that's what happens to people who have never had any, they've never had any ramifications for their behavior.
That's my point. Yeah, like he knows what he does is shitty.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care.
Oof. Mark Bettero may or may not have said his son can explain the towel. I don't even know what that means.
Well, because maybe his son watches South Park.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
His mother is a woman named Wendy Murphy. Just look at her tweets. She tweeted that she wished that Karen would
she blocked me too. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've been cheated out of Coffindoffer tweets and Wendy Murphy tweets, man. Like, it sucks.
Yeah, she also had something to do with the Duke lacrosse case. She had some horrific things to say about that, and also horrific things to say about Karen, which had happened to her when she goes to prison, things like that.
Oh, and there's this other lady who just posted something, and I was just like, God, she's stupid. Like, I don't want to play it because now actually she uses U2 in it, and she like reads real deep into like Karen Reed saying that she was listening to U2 at some point in the night, and then like does this really overreach, and I'm just like, what a fucking moron.
But you don't want to give the person the credit or the views.
I'm telling you, like, Turtle Boy's quote is the most accurate in the world. The dumbest people in the world think that Karen Reed is guilty. The dumbest people in the world.
I mean, it's basically like just common sense. Like, if nothing else, look at his. Oh my God. Oh my. Can you pull up the tweet with the with the theory that the pieces of taillight are shaped like teeth, and that must be how.
Where would I even find that?
I think Coffin Doof is.
See, she's got me blocked. I can't.
Oh,
yeah, I can't.
But I think it wasn't hers to begin with. It was someone else's, and it was a bunch of taillight pieces that looked like triangles. And it was like, this is exactly how his arm was shredded because these little taillight pieces came off and they're
Yeah,
in the
that's
shape
her.
of dog teeth.
Yeah,
It's
Julie Carpenter.
insane.
She's an idiot. God, she's so stupid. Like it's crazy. Like it's so wild. Like you know, yeah, Twitter's disgusting and everything, but it's like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like it's wild just to see like these things feed. Does that make sense?
It's like,
Like
yeah,
just
it's like a
just
train
to
wreck.
watch.
You can't turn
Yeah, it's
away.
like
Like you just
watch.
can't turn
Yeah,
away because you're waiting for the next gory thing to happen. And what's funny
yeah.
now is from what I hear, they're all turning on each other.
You watch these shit-eating animals feed, dude. Like I can't help it. I can't help it.
They're all turning on each other now. It's getting ugly. I think over there.
Yeah, it is.
Getting
It's
really
yeah, like I
ugly.
can't log off now. Like I'm in it. Yeah, like I'm in it
For
now.
the comedy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
do you know that in what's today? Today's the 15th. In 2 days, it is going to be the full blood supermoon. This is like the 4th supermoon of the year. This is going to be a really powerful thing. So just, be prepared for it. I don't know if you believe in these such things, but it's time to bring deep energy cleansing, and your life is going to shift 8 times. It's a major supermoon, people. So if you feel a little crazy right now, that's what it is. It's the blood moon, supermoon.
I'm sorry, I
I'm
was
just saying.
deliberately ignoring you. What were you talking about?
Why would you do that? That is so rude to do to your guests. I give up my evening to come here and hang out with you, and I donate my time to you. I'm not getting paid for this. You're not making my hourly rate. You're not giving me $1,200 an hour to come here, because right now, as I'm clocking in, you owe me about $3,600 large. So do not ignore me, Dan. I will not be ignored.
I think Betero is available. He's a little busy, but you could hire him. He'll get it out of me.
Oh, dare you.
Get it out of me.
It is a male thing. I think he was trying to make a point, just being a dick.
Yeah, I was. I was just being a dick and just minimizing the whole astronomy thing.
Yeah, because whatever any
Or
chick says is just not
astrology.
important. It's not important.
Astrology, right?
You wacko.
Is it astrology or astrology, right? Yeah.
Astrology. Well,
Yeah.
but the I guess the full moon is like astronomy too, right?
See, that right there is a massive indication of how little I care about.
Yeah, but it's real, because it would help you. You said you were getting some self-awareness from reading the John O'Keefe texts, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you understood about the shift of the planets and how your mood is being affected by it, you might not be such a dick.
Or I can masturbate with a cheese grater.
You might just say, I know that I'm going to be a dick right now, but it's just the full moon. So I know what I'm about to say is really mean. I'm just not going to say it. Maybe. I don't know, some self-awareness.
Yeah,
I thought we were getting there.
Yeah.
I thought this was like a therapy session reading all these messages, and now you just threw everything backwards like a week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get worse if we keep going. So
It's okay, because we have to wrap anyway.
we do have to wrap it up. Yeah, I'm just gonna get worse. So I don't. The last thing I want to do is offend you, because I am actually amazingly grateful to you for joining me and putting up with my snark, as always, because you're fantastic and amazing. And I find your insight absolutely valuable, like unbelievably valuable.
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't listening. What did you say? What was that?
Got him.
Can you say that a little bit louder, please, for the people in the back?
I am happy to. I find your insight incredibly valuable, as does everyone here. And we are all, especially me, extremely grateful for you joining the Glare this evening, as I always will. And I hope that this doesn't ruin any chance of you doing it again.
Any chance of what now?
Because I was a dick.
Okay, I'll think about it. Ladies, you can vote on that later. We'll take a poll.
Right on. Okay, good. I am going to wrap this up. Attorney Melanie Little, thank you so much.
Melanie, just Melanie.
I mean, I got to plug
know.
your channel, you know.
Melanie. Oh, yeah, well.
Here.
I think we have so many crossovers that it's good. Thank you.
We do. I mean, it's not necessary, but yeah, why
Mhm.
not? A little extra push.
I'm just here for the laughs, I'm just here for the laughs. I'm not here for
That's
the
it.
views and clicks. I'm just here for the laughs, and the 3,600. You're gonna Venmo me after this is over.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. Somebody see, this is why I love. Hold on.
What had happened was I had went to pay the bill, but I just didn't.
Oh, hold on a second here. This
I
was
think there was
the
a Jeopardy the other night on SNL. I gotta go I wonder if I taped it because I love when they do Jeopardy. That's the best.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Look,
There
the
it is.
taillights are shaped like teeth.
Yeah, zoom in, zoom in.
Yeah.
You gotta zoom in because look, she's like the teeth that caused the mark on hashtag John O'Keefe's arm are pictured below. Hashtag
The
Karen
teeth.
Reed is accused of murdering Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Photo credit to Tuesday Gazette.
Why is she so stupid? I don't understand that.
How
Dude,
can you ever be
FBI,
expected to can you even zoom in on it more because it's even like more delicious when you really see
listen,
like how they took a
FBI.
red Sharpie and they're like, look, and look how perfectly those marks are aligned, like as if they were teeth. And if you've seen the shirt, which I know you have, because we've all seen the shirt does not have these slash marks in it. It just has puncture marks in it. And here's the
Lady's
thing.
amazing, dude.
They flew in the air and then they attached themselves. They latched on to the arm. I mean, all at the same time, presumably, right? And they just all at the same time. It's like, all right, can somebody make a cartoon about this? Maybe Plevin can get on this because that cartoon that he made of the person bending over to pick up the martini glass. It was like supposed to be John O'Keefe bending over in the road to pick up a martini glass, gets whacked in the head by the car, does a pirouette. Like, I need to know. I need maybe Joe Flipperhead. I don't know if he does animation, but we need to see how these the taillight explodes. It comes out like teeth and it goes.
Yeah. I mean, but we have to study this one more time real quick here. Plevin is a genius. Hold on.
It's the
Oh,
wrong
no,
car.
I'm gonna get dinged for that. One more time. Okay. That's it for that.
It's the wrong taillight. I mean, everything about that is wrong. It's the wrong car. It's the wrong. It's inverted. The Benny Hill. It's just you can't
Plevin.
make this shit up. There
I
are
mean-
writers' rooms in Hollywood right now with writer's block. Like they'd have no idea what to do next. This is what they should be doing next. SNL is missing a golden opportunity with this case. They're back in production.
100%. And that's for Plevin for making such a riveting logic and evidence dictated video.
I will say that the animation or whatever that is, claymation, was quite good. I don't know what program he used to actually make that figure, but the quality is good. It's just
Is it though?
the theory, the thesis is not good.
Okay.
But I mean, I couldn't do that. Could you do that? Could you make a video like that?
A computer can though.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even know what program to use.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
You win this round, Plevin.
And Core TV played it. That's right.
Yeah.
Someone's pointing out Core TV played it.
Like a lot. A lot.
They've lost a lot of credibility worldwide, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right now. Yeah. Like right now, if Court TV and let me say the FBI. If the FBI were an Uber driver, I would bring them down to 4 stars for just having coffined off or using their name in front of hers. Court TV right now is at 2 stars easy. like
Yeah.
2 stars if they were an Uber driver for sure.
The rating is going down. Yes, Romy, they played it more than once. More than once, right? Romy's like, stop it. They really played that? Oh, yes. Oh,
Um,
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, they did.
Someone just sent me something off topic.
Okay. We can always go off.
We can go over it now, or let me see how long this is first. Hold on.
Noel says I wouldn't even give them a full
Oh,
star.
it's like an hour long. That's a whole nother
We need more material, so it's good. Listen, we had no plan when we came on tonight, and look what we did. This was a fabulous 2 hours and 55 minutes,
oh
was it
my
not,
god.
people?
Okay, yeah, like I have to watch this. I can't react to this. I have to watch this first. I can't react to this because I don't know what this is. Yeah, never mind. Never mind, next time.
Okay.
And so yeah, we'll just go ahead and wrap this up because we covered a lot.
We did.
Yeah, this turned out to be good. Tagged you in Wendy's new theory. Thank you. All right, let's go. Let's
say goodnight, Gracie.
Wait, real quick. Let's check what she tagged me in. I mean, she sent a super chat, so she wants us to go over it. Let's see.
Yes, Dateline is doing something on Friday, Deborah Ann. We talked about that earlier, and who knows what it's going to be like. But the trailer that they're showing is not very flattering, and the thumbnail that they used is horrific. If it was me, I'd be really mad.
Okay, yeah. So here's Wendy Murphy's new theory, real quick.
For those of you who don't know, this is Grant Smith Ellis's mother.
Right.
She's a lawyer.
It's debatable.
Well,
there's always a little truth in a big lie. He did go after her and he kicked and broke her taillight and shoe came off. She was livid, gunned it backwards as he was bending to get his shoe, swiped him as he was standing up. Okay. So
he did go after. He kicked and broke the. First of all, you can't kick and break a taillight. The Crash Daddies built a cannon. Okay, they built a freaking cannon, and they shot a cocktail glass at it at like however many miles an hour, right at the damn taillight, and it wouldn't break. You think him kicking it with a sneaker is going to break the taillight? Are you kidding me?
But that's how his shoe came off, Melanie, because it got caught in the well of the taillight. And then
right,
when she gunned it in reverse and then put it back into forward and gunned it out of there, the shoe flew out of the well of the taillight and ended up where it ended up. Jesus.
And the whole time, Jen McCabe was looking out the window. The whole time, she never saw any of that.
Never heard anything. Nope.
Maddie McCabe, he was looking out the window too, but he didn't see it either.
Yeah.
It's priceless. Really, it's priceless. You can't make it up.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, Melanie. Appreciate you for joining me. You were absolutely amazing as always.
It's always fun.
And guys, I do love you guys very much as always. I'm sorry that you had to wait so long, but I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.